Scene, sometimes in Sicilia, sometimes in Bohemia. Act 1. Scene 1. Sicilia, an antechamber in Leontes' palace. Enter Camillo and Archidamus. Arcdmus. Chapter 1. If you shall chance, Camillo, to visit Bohemia, on the like occasion whereon my services are now on foot, you shall see, as I have said, great difference betwixt our Bohemia and your Sicilia. Chapter 100. Amillo. Chapter 1. Think this coming summer the King of Sicilia means to pay Bohemia the visitation which he justly owes him. Arcdmus. Wherein our entertainment shall shame us, we will be justified in our loves, for indeed. Chapter 100. Amillo. Beseech you. Arcdmus. Chapter 5. Early I speak it in the freedom of my knowledge. We cannot with such magnificence, in so rare, I know not what to say. We will give you sleepy drinks, that your senses, unintelligent of our insufficience, may, though they cannot praise us, as little accuse us. Chapter 100. Amillo. You pay a great deal too dear, for what's given freely. Arcdmus. Believe me, I speak as my understanding instructs me, and as mine honesty puts it to utterance. Chapter 100. Amillo. Sicilia cannot show himself overkind to Bohemia. They were trained together in their childhoods, and there rooted betwixt them then such an affection which cannot choose but branch now, since their more mature dignities and royal necessities made separation of their society. Their encounters, though not personal, have been royally attorneyed with interchange of gifts, letters, loving embassies, that they have seemed to be together, though absent, shook hands as over a vast, and embraced as it were from the ends of opposed winds. The heavens continue their loves. Arcdmus. Chapter 1. Think there is not in the world either malice or matter to alter it. You have an unspeakable comfort of your young Prince Mamilius. It is a gentleman of the greatest promise that ever came into my note. Chapter 100. Amillo. Chapter 1. Very well agree with you in the hopes of him. It is a gallant child, one that indeed physics the subject, makes old hearts fresh. They that went on crutches ere he was born desire yet their life to see him a man. Arcdmus. Would they else be content to die? Chapter 100. Amillo. Yes, if there were no other excuse why they should desire to live. Arcdmus. Chapter 1. If the king had no son, they would desire to live on crutches till he had one. Scene 2. The same, a room of state in the palace. Enter Leontes, Polixenes, Hermione, Mamilius, Camillo, and attendants. Polixenes. 9 changes of the watery star hath been. The shepherd's note, since we have left our throne. Without a burden, time is long again. Would be filled up, my brother, with our thanks. And yet we should, for perpetuity, go hence in debt, and therefore like a cipher. Yet standing in rich place, I multiply. With one, we thank you, many thousands more. That go before it. Chapter 50. Leontes. Stay your thanks a while, and pay them when you part. Polixenes. Sir, that's tomorrow. Chapter 1. Am questioned by my fears of what may chance, or breed upon our absence, that may blow. No sneaping winds at home, to make us say, this is put forth too truly. Besides, I have stayed to tire your royalty. Chapter 50. Leontes. We are tougher, brother, than you can put us to tea. Polixenes. No longer stay. Chapter 50. Leontes. 1 7 longer. Polixenes. Chapter 5. Sooth tomorrow. Chapter 50. Leontes. We'll part the time between then, and in that. Chapter 1. I'll no gainsaying. Polixenes. Press me not, beseech you so. There is no tongue that moves, none ith world. So soon as yours could win me, so it should now. Were there necessity in your request, although 'twere needful I denied it, my affairs. Chapter 500. Oh, even drag me homeward, which to hinder were in your love a whip to me, my stay. To you a charge and trouble, to save both. Farewell, our brother. Chapter 50. Eontes. Tongue-tied our queen, speak you. Hermione. Chapter 1. Had thought, sir, to have held my peace until you had drawn oaths from him not to stay. You, sir. Chapter 100. Heart him too coldly, tell him you are sure. All in Bohemia's well, this satisfaction. The bygone day proclaimed, say this to him. He's beat from his best ward. Chapter 50. Eontes. Well said, Hermione. Hermione. To tell he longs to see his son were strong. But let him say so then, and let him go. But let him swear so, and he shall not stay. We'll thwack him hence with distaffs. Yet of your royal presence I'll adventure the borrow of a week, when at Bohemia. You take my lord, I'll give him my commission, to let him there a month behind the jest. Prefixed first parting, yet good deed Leontes. Chapter 1. Love thee not a jar of clock behind. What lady she her lord, you'll stay. Poetic. No, madam. Hermione. Nay, but you will. Poetic. Chapter 1. May not verily. Hermione. Chapter 5. Early. You put me off with limber vows, but I, though you would seek tea, unsphere the stars with oaths, should yet say, sir, no going. Verily. You shall not go, a lady's verily is as potent as a lord's, will go yet. Force me to keep you as a prisoner. Not like a guest, so you shall pay your fees. When you depart and save your thanks, how say you? Chapter 1000. Why prisoner or my guest? By your dread, verily. One of them you shall be. Poetic. Your guest, then, madam. To be your prisoner should import offending, which is for me less easy to commit than you to punish. Hermione. Not your jailer then, but your kind hostess. Come, I'll question you of my lord's tricks and yours when you were boys. You were pretty lordings then. Poetic. We were, fair queen, two lads that thought there was no more behind, but such a day tomorrow as today, and to be boy eternal. Hermione. Was not my lord the virier wag o too? Poetic. We were as twinned lambs that did frisk son, and bleat the one at other. What we changed was innocence for innocence, we knew not the doctrine of ill-doing, nor dreamed that any did, had we pursued that life, and our weak spirits ne'er been higher reared. With stronger blood, we should have answered heaven. Boldly, not guilty, the imposition cleared. Hereditary hours. Hermione. By this we gather. You have tripped since. Poetic. O my most sacred lady. Temptations have since then been born to's, for Chapter 1. In those unfledged days was my wife a girl. Your precious self had then not crossed the eyes of my young playfellow. Hermione. Grace to boot. Of this make no conclusion, lest you say, your queen and I are devils, yet go on. Offenses we have made you do will answer. Chapter 1. If you first sinned with us, and that with us, you did continue fault, and that you slipped not with any but with us. Chapter 50. Eontes. Chapter 1. Is he one yet? Hermione. He'll stay, my lord. Chapter 50. Eontes. At my request he would not. Hermione, my dearest, thou never spokest to better purpose. Hermione. Never. Chapter 50. Leontes. Never but once. Hermione. What have I twice said well, when wast before? Chapter 1. Prithee tell me, crams with praise and makes as fat as tame things, one good deed dying tongueless. Slaughters 1,000 waiting upon that. Our praises are our wages, you may ride S. With one soft kiss 1,000 furlongs air. With spur we heat an acre, but to th goal. Chapter 1000. Why last good deed was to entreat his stay. What was my first? It has an elder sister. Or I mistake you, oh, would her name were Grace. But once before I spoke to the purpose, when? Nay, let me haved, I long. Chapter 50. Leontes. Why, that was when 3 crabbed months had soured themselves to death. Ere I could make thee open thy white hand, and clap thyself my love, then didst thou utter, I am yours forever. Hermione. 'Tis grace indeed. Why, lo you know, I have spoke to th purpose twice. The one for ever earned a royal husband. Th, other for some while a friend. Giving her hand to Polixenes. Chapter 50. Leontes. Too hot, too hot. To mingle friendship far is mingling bloods. Chapter 1. Have tremor cordies on me, my heart dances. But not for joy, not joy, this entertainment. Chapter 1000. I a free face put on, derive a liberty. From hardiness, from bounty fertile bosom. And well become the agent, may I grant. But to be paddling palms and pinching fingers. As now they are, and making practiced smiles. As in a looking-glass, and then to sigh as tweer. The mort dear, oh that is entertainment. Chapter 1000. Why bosom likes not nor my brows, Mamilius. Art thou my boy? Chapter 1000. Amilalius. I, my good lord. Chapter 50. Leontes. Chapter 1. Vex. Why, that's my bawcock. What hast smutched thy nose? They say it is a copy out of mine. Come, captain. We must be neat, not neat but cleanly, captain. And yet the steer, the heifer, and the calf are all called neat, still virginaling. Upon his palm, how now you want in calf? Art thou my calf? Chapter 1000. Amilalius. Yes, if you will, my lord. Chapter 50. Leontes. Thou want'st a rough pash, and the shoots that I have. To be full like me, yet they say we are. Almost as like as eggs, women say so. That will say anything, but were they false? As ore-dyed blacks, as wind, as waters false. As dice are to be wished by one that fixes. No born twixt his and mine, yet were it true. To say this boy were like me, come, Sir Page. Chapter 50. Ook on me with your welkin eye, sweet villain. Chapter 1000. Ausdearsty my collop can thy dam, mate be. Affection, thy intention stabs the center. Thou dost make possible things not so held. Chapter 100. Ommunicates with dreams, how can this be? With what's unreal thou coactive art. And fellows tea nothing, then tea's very credent. Thou mayst cojoin with something, and thou dost. And that beyond commission, and I find it. And that to the infection of my brains. And hardening of my brows. Polixenes. What means Cecilia? Hermione. He something seems unsettled. Polixenes. How, my lord? What cheer, how is't with you, best brother? Hermione. You look as if you held a brow of much distraction. Are you moved, my lord? Chapter 50. Leontes. No, in good earnest. How sometimes nature will betray its folly. Chapter 1. T.S. tenderness and make itself a pastime. To harder bosoms, looking on the lines of my boy's face, methoughts I did recoil. 23 years, and saw myself unbreached. Chapter 1. And my green velvet coat, my dagger muzzled. Chapter 50. Est it should bite its master, and so prove, as ornaments oft do, too dangerous. How like me thought I then was to this colonel, this squash, this gentleman, mine honest friend. Will you take eggs for money? Chapter 1000. Amillius. No, my lord, I'll fight. Chapter 50. Eontes. You will, why happy man be stole, my brother. Are you so fond of your young prince as we? Chapter 500. Oh, seem to be of ours. Poetic. Chapter 1. F at home, sir. He's all my exercise, my mirth, my matter. Now my sworn friend, and then mine enemy. Chapter 1000. Why parasite my soldier statesmen all? He makes a July's day short as December, and with his varying childness cures in me thoughts that would thick my blood. Chapter 50. Eontes. So stands this squire. Affect with me, we two will walk, my lord, and leave you to your graver steps, Hermione. How thou lovest to show in our brother, welcome. Chapter 50. At what is dear in Sicily be cheap. Next to thyself and my young rover, he's a parent to my heart. Hermione. Chapter 1. If you would seek us, we are yours. I the garden shall attend you there. Chapter 50. Eontes. To your own bents dispose you, you'll be found. Be you beneath the sky, I am angling now. Though you perceive me, not how I give line. Go to. How she holds up the neb, the bill to him, and arms her with the boldness of a wife to her allowing husband. Exeunt Polixenes, Hermione and attendants. Gone already. Chapter 1. NCH thick, knee-deep, o'er head and ears a forked one. Go play, boy, play. Thy mother plays, and I play too, but so distract apart whose issue will hiss me to my grave, contempt and clamor will be my knell. Go play, boy, play, there have been, or I am much deceived, cuckolds ere now. And many a man there is, even at this present. Now while I speak this, holds his wife by arm. That little thinks she has been slooked in's absence, and his pond fished by his next neighbor, by Sir Smile, his neighbor. Nay, there's comfort in tea, whiles other men have gates, and those gates opened, as mine against their will, should all despair. That hath revolted wives, the 10th of mankind, would hang themselves, physic fort there's none. Chapter 1. Tea is a body planet that will strike where tea's predominant, and tea's powerful, think it. From east, west, north, and south, be it concluded. No barricado for a belly, note. Chapter 1. Tea will let in and out the enemy. With bag and baggage, many thousand of us have the disease and feel't not. How now, boy? Chapter 1000. Amillius. Chapter 1. Like you, they say. Chapter 50. Eontes. Why, that's some comfort. What, Camillo there? Chapter 100. Amillo. I, my good lord. Chapter 50. Eontes. Go play, Mamilius, thou'rt an honest man. Chapter 100. Amillo, this great sir will yet stay longer. Chapter 100. Amillo. You had much ado to make his anchor hold. When you cast out, it still came home. Chapter 50. Eontes. Chapter 999. St. Note it. Chapter 100. Amillo. He would not stay at your petitions, made his business more material. Chapter 50. Eontes. Chapter 999. St. Perceive it. They're here with me already, whispering, rounding. Cecilia is a so forth, tea's far gone. When I shall gust at last, how came't Camillo that he did stay. Chapter 100. Amillo. At the good queen's entreaty. Chapter 50. Eontes. At the Queen's bet, good should be pertinent. But so it is not, was this taken by any understanding pate but thine. For thy conceit is soaking, will draw. Chapter 1000, or than the common blocks, not noted ist, but of the finer natures, by some severals, of headpiece extraordinary, lower messes, perchance are to this business purblind, say. Chapter 100, AMILLO. Business, my lord, I think most understand. Bohemia stays here longer. Chapter 50, EONTES. Chapter 100, AMILLO. Stays here longer. Chapter 50, EONTES. Aye, but why? Chapter 100, AMILLO. To satisfy your highness, and the entreaties of our most gracious mistress. Chapter 50, EONTES. Satisfy. Entreaties of your mistress, satisfy. Chapter 50, at that suffice, I have trusted thee, Camillo, with all the nearest things to my heart, as well. Chapter 1000, why chamber councils wherein, priest-like, thou hast cleansed my bosom, I from thee departed. Thy penitent reformed, but we have been. Chapter 500, deceived in thy integrity, deceived. Chapter 1, and that which seems so. Chapter 100, AMILLO. Be it forbid, my lord. Chapter 50, EONTES. To bide upon't, thou art not honest, or. Chapter 1, if thou inclinst that way, thou art a coward, which hawks his honesty behind, restraining from course required, or else thou must be counted a servant grafted in my serious trust, and therein negligent, or else a fool. That ceased a game played home, the rich stake drawn, and taxed it all for jest. Chapter 100, AMILLO. Chapter 1000, why gracious Lord. Chapter 1, may be negligent, foolish, and fearful. Chapter 1, and every one of these no man is free, but that his negligence, his folly, fear, among the infinite doings of the world, sometime puts forth, in your affairs, my lord. Chapter 1, if ever I were willful negligent. Chapter 1, was my folly, if industriously. Chapter 1, played the fool, it was my negligence, not weighing well the end, if ever fearful, to do a thing, where I the issue doubted, whereof the execution did cry out. Against the non-performance, 'twas a fear, which oft affects the wisest. These, my lord, are such allowed infirmities that honesty. Chapter 1, never free of, but beseech your grace. Be plainer with me, let me know my trespass. By its own visage, if I then deny it, 'tis none of mine. Chapter 50, EONTES. Ha, not you seen, Camillo. But that's past doubt, you have or your eyeglass. Chapter 1, thicker than a cuckold's horn or herd. 4, to a vision so apparent, rumor. Chapter 100, and not be mute or thought, for cogitation resides not in that man that does not think. Chapter 1000, why wife is slippery, if thou wilt confess, or else be impudently negative. To have nor eyes nor ears nor thought, then say. Chapter 1000, why wife's a hobby horse deserves a name, as rank as any flax wench that puts to before her troth plight, sate and justifit. Chapter 100, AMILLO. Chapter 1, would not be a stander by to hear. Chapter 1000, why sovereign mistress clouded so without. Chapter 1000, why present vengeance taken, shrew my heart. You never spoke what did become you less than this, which to reiterate were sin, as deep as that, though true. Chapter 50, EONTES. Chapter 1, whispering nothing. Chapter 1, leaning cheek to cheek, is meeting noses, kissing with inside lip, stopping the career of laughter with a sigh, a note infallible of breaking honesty, horsing foot on foot. skulking in corners, wishing clocks more swift. Hours, minutes, noon, midnight, and all eyes. Blind with the pin and web, but theirs only. That would unseen be wicked. Is this nothing? Why, then the world and all that's in't is nothing. The covering sky is nothing, Bohemia nothing. Chapter 1000. Why wife is nothing, nor nothing have these nothings. Chapter 1. If this be nothing. Chapter 100. Amillo. Could my lord be curd of this diseased opinion, and betimes for 'tis most dangerous. Chapter 50. Eontes. Say it be, 'tis true. Chapter 100. Amillo. No, my lord. Chapter 50. Eontes. Chapter 1. 'Tis you lie. Chapter 1. Say thou least, Camillo, and I hate thee. Pronounce thee a gross lout, a mindless slave, or else a hovering temporizer that. Chapter 100. Anst with thine eyes at once see good and evil. Chapter 1. Inclining to them both, were my wife's liver. Chapter 1. Infected as her life, she would not live. The running of one glass. Chapter 100. Amillo. Who does infect her? Chapter 50. Eontes. Why, he that wears her like her medal, hanging about his neck, Bohemia, who if I had servants true about me, that bear eyes to see alike mine honor as their profits, their own particular thrifts, they would do that which should undo more doing, I and thou, his cupbearer, whom I from meaner form have benched and reared to worship, who may see plainly, as heaven sees earth and earth sees heaven, how I am galled, mightst bespice a cup to give mine enemy a lasting wink, which draught to me were cordial. Chapter 100. Amillo. Sir, my lord. Chapter 1. Could do this and that with no rash potion, but with a lingering dram, that should not work. Chapter 1000. Aliciously like poison, but I cannot believe this crack to be in my dread mistress, so sovereignly being honorable. Chapter 1. Have loved thee. Chapter 50. Eontes. Chapter 1000. Ache that thy question and go rot. Chapter 500. Os think I am so muddy, so unsettled, to appoint myself in this vexation, sully the purity and whiteness of my sheets, which to preserve is sleep, which being spotted. Chapter 1. Goads, thorns, nettles, tails of wasps. Give scandal to the blood Prince my son, who I do think is mine, and love as mine. Without right moving taught, would I do this. Chapter 100. Ud man so blench. Chapter 100. Amillo. Chapter 1. Must believe you, sir. Chapter 1. Do, and will fetch off Bohemia fort, provided that, when he's removed, your highness will take again your queen as yours at first, even for your son's sake, and thereby for sealing the injury of tongues in courts and kingdoms, known and allied to yours. Chapter 50. Eontes. Thou dost advise me, even so as I mine own course have set down. Chapter 1. I'll give no blemish to her honor, none. Chapter 100. Amillo. Chapter 1000. Why, lord? Go then, and with a countenance as clear as friendship wears at feasts, keep with Bohemia, and with your queen, I am his cupbearer. Chapter 1. If from me he have wholesome beverage, account me not your servant. Chapter 50. Eontes. This is all. Chapter 500. Ot, and thou hast the one half of my heart. Chapter 500. Ot not thou splitst thine own. Chapter 100. Amillo. Chapter 1. Dot, my lord. Chapter 50. Eontes. Chapter 1. Will seem friendly as thou hast advised me. Chapter 100. Amillo. O miserable lady, but for me, what case stand I in? I must be the poisoner of good polixenes, and my ground to dot. Chapter 1. As the obedience to a master, 1. Who, in rebellion with himself, will have all that are his so too, to do this deed. Promotion follows, if I could find example of thousands that had struck anointed kings, and flourished after I'd not dot, but since nor brass, nor stone, nor parchment bears not one. Chapter 50. At villainy itself forswear't, I must forsake the court, to dot or no is certain. To me a breakneck, happy star reign now. Here comes Bohemia. Enter Polixenes. Polixenes. This is strange, methinks. Chapter 1000. Why favor here begins to warp, not speak. Good day, Camillo. Chapter 100. Amillo. Hail, most royal sir. Polixenes. What is the news court? Chapter 100. Amillo. None rare, my lord. Polixenes. The king hath on him such a countenance, as he had lost some province and a region. Chapter 50. Oved as he loves himself, even now I met him with customary compliment, when he, wafting his eyes to the contrary, and falling a lip of much contempt, speeds from me, and so leaves me to consider what is breeding. That changes thus his manners. Chapter 100. Amillo. Chapter 1. Dare not know my lord. Polixenes. How dare not, do not, do you know and dare not? Be intelligent to me, tease thereabouts. For to yourself, what you do know you must, and cannot say you dare not, good Camillo. Your changed complexions are to me a mirror, which shows me mine changed too, for I must be a party in this alteration, finding. Chapter 1000. A self thus altered with. Chapter 100. Amillo. There is a sickness which puts some of us in distemper, but. Chapter 1. Cannot name the disease, and it is caught. Of you that yet are well. Polixenes. How caught of me? Chapter 1000. Ache me not sighted like the basilisk. Chapter 1. Have looked on thousands who have sped the better. By my regard, but killed none so, Camillo. As you are certainly a gentleman, there too. Chapter 150. Irk-like, experienced, which no less adorns our gentry than our parents, noble names. Chapter 1. In whose success we are gentle, I beseech you. Chapter 1. If you know aught which does behove my knowledge, thereof to be informed, imprisonment not. Chapter 1. An ignorant concealment. Chapter 100. Amillo. Chapter 1. May not answer. Polixenes. A sickness caught of me, and yet I well. Chapter 1. Must be answered. Dost thou hear, Camillo? Chapter 1. Conjure thee by all the parts of man, which honor does acknowledge, whereof the least. Chapter 1. Is not this suit of mine that thou declare? What incidency thou dost guess of harm? Chapter 1. Is creeping toward me, how far off, how near? Which way to be prevented, if to be? Chapter 1. If not, how best to bear it? Chapter 100. Amillo. Sir, I will tell you, since I am charged in honor, and by him that I think honorable, therefore mark my counsel, which must be even as swiftly followed as. Chapter 1. Mean to utter it, or both yourself and me. Chapter 100. Rye lost, and so good night. Polixenes. On, good Camillo. Chapter 100. Amillo. Chapter 1. Am appointed him to murder you. Polixenes. By whom, Camillo? Chapter 100. Amillo. By the king. Polixenes. For what? Chapter 100. Amillo. He thinks, nay, with all confidence he swears, as he had seen't or been an instrument To vice you taught, that you have touched his queen. Forbiddenly. Poetic. Oh, then my best blood turn to an infected jelly, and my name be yocked with his that did betray the best. Turn then my freshest reputation to a savor that may strike the dullest nostril, where I arrive, and my approach be shunned. Nay, hated too, worse than the great infection that e'er was heard or read. Chapter 100, Amillo. Swear his thought over by each particular star in heaven, and by all their influences, you may as well forbid the sea for to obey the moon, as or by oath remove or counsel shake the fabric of his folly, whose foundation. Chapter 1, pilled upon his faith and will continue the standing of his body. Poetic. How should this grow? Chapter 100, Amillo. Chapter 1, know not, but I am sure 'tis safer to avoid what's grown than question how 'tis born. Chapter 1, if therefore you dare trust my honesty, that lies enclosed in this trunk, which you shall bear along impond, away tonight. Your followers I will whisper to the business, and will by twos and threes, at several posterns. Chapter 150, ear them oth city, for myself I'll put. Chapter 1000, why fortunes to your service which are here. By this discovery lost, be not uncertain. For by the honor of my parents, I have uttered truth, which if you seek to prove. Chapter 1, dare not stand by, nor shall you be safer than one condemned by the king's own mouth. Thereon his execution sworn. Poetic. Chapter 1, do believe thee. Chapter 1, saw his heart in's face, give me thy hand. Be pilot to me, and thy places shall still neighbor mine, my ships are ready and. Chapter 1000, why people did expect my hence departure. 2 days ago, this jealousy. Chapter 1, as for a precious creature, as she's rare. Chapter 1000, must it be great, and as his person's mighty. Chapter 1000, must it be violent, and as he does conceive. He is dishonored by a man which ever professed to him, why his revenges must. Chapter 1, and that be made more bitter, fear o'ershades me. Good expedition be my friend, and comfort. The gracious queen, part of his theme but nothing of his ill-tanned suspicion. Come, Camillo. Chapter 1, will respect thee as a father if thou bear'st my life off hence, let us avoid. Chapter 100, Amillo. Chapter 1, T is in mine authority to command the keys of all the posterns, please your highness. To take the urgent hour, come sir away. Act 2. Scene 1, Cecilia, a room in the palace. Enter Hermione, Mamilius and ladies. Hermione. Take the boy to you, he so troubles me. 'Tis past enduring. First Lady. Chapter 100, my gracious lord. Shall I be your playfellow? Chapter 1000, Amillo. No, I'll none of you. First Lady. Why, my sweet lord? Chapter 1000, Amillo. You'll kiss me hard, and speak to me as if. Chapter 1, we're a baby still, I love you better. Second Lady. And why so, my lord? Chapter 1000, Amillo. Not for because your brows are blacker, yet black brows, they say, become some women best, so that there be not too much hair there, but in a semicircle, or a half-moon made with a pen. Second Lady. Who taught this? Chapter 1000, Amillo. Chapter 1, learned it out of women's faces, pray now. What color are your eyebrows? First Lady. Blue, my lord. Chapter 1000, Amillo. Nay, that's a mock. I have seen a lady's nose That has been blue, but not her eyebrows. First Lady. Hark ye. The Queen your mother rounds apace. We shall present our services to a fine new prince. One of these days, and then you'd wanton with us. Chapter 1. If we would have you. Second Lady. She is spread of late. Chapter 1. Intio a goodly bulk, good time encounter her. Hermione. What wisdom stirs amongst you? Come, sir, now. Chapter 1. For you again, pray you sit by us. And tells a tale. Chapter 1000. Amilalius. Chapter 1000. Uri or sad shalt be. Hermione. As merry as you will. Chapter 1000. Amilalius. A sad tale's best for winter. I have one. Of sprites and goblins. Hermione. Chapter 50. Let's have that, good sir. Chapter 100. Oman, sit down. Come on and do your best. To fright me with your sprites. You're powerful at it. Chapter 1000. Amilalius. There was a man. Hermione. Nay, come, sit down then on. Chapter 1000. Amilalius. Chapter 500. Welt by a churchyard, I will tell it softly. Yond crickets shall not hear it. Hermione. Chapter 100. Oman then. And give it me in mine ear. Enter Leontes, Antigonus, lords and guards. Chapter 50. Leontes. Was he met there, his train, Camillo with him. First Lord. Behind the tuft of pines I met them, never. Saw I men scour so on their way, I eyed them. Even to their ships. Chapter 50. Leontes. How blessed am I. Chapter 1. Am I just censure in my true opinion? Alack for lesser knowledge, how accursed. Chapter 1. And being so blessed, there may be in the cup a spider steeped, and one may drink depart, and yet partake no venom, for his knowledge. Chapter 1. S not infected, but if one present. Abhorred ingredient to his eye, make known. How he hath drunk, he cracks his gorge, his sides. With violent hefts, I have drunk and seen the spider. Chapter 100. Amillo was his help in this, his pander. There is a plot against my life, my crown. All's true that is mistrusted, that false villain, whom I employed, was pre-employed by him. He has discovered my design, and I remain a pinched thing, yea, a very trick. For them to play at will, how came the posterns so easily open? First Lord. By his great authority, which often hath no less prevailed than so. On your command. Chapter 50. Leontes. Chapter 1. Note too well. Give me the boy. I am glad you did not nurse him. Though he does bear some signs of me, yet you have too much blood in him. Hermione. What is this, sport? Chapter 50. Leontes. Bear the boy hence, he shall not come about her. Away with him, and let her sport herself. With that she's big with, for tease Polixenes has made thee swell thus. Exit Mamilius with some of the guards. Hermione. But I'd say ye had not. And I'll be sworn you would believe my saying. Howe'er you learn nayward. Chapter 50. Leontes. You, my lords. Chapter 50. Ook on her mark her well, be but about to say she is a goodly lady, and the justice of your hearts will thereto add. Tease pity she's not honest, honorable. Praise her, but for this her with outdoor form, which on my faith deserves high speech, and straight. The shrug, the hum or ha, these petty brands. That calumny doth use, oh I am out. That mercy does, for calumny will sear. Chapter 6. R2 itself, these shrugs, these hum, s and ha's. When you have said she's goodly, come between. Ere you can say she's honest, but be it known From him that has most cause to grieve it should be. She's an adulteress. Hermione. Should a villain say so? The most replenished villain in the world. He were as much more villain, you, my lord. Chapter 500, Oh, but mistake. Chapter 50, Eontes. You have mistook, my lady. Polixenes for Leontes, O thou thing, which I'll not call a creature of thy place. Chapter 50, Est barbarism making me the precedent. Should a like language use to all degrees, and mannerly distinguishment leave out. Betwixt the prince and beggar, I have said. She's an adulteress, I have said with whom. Chapter 1000, or she's a traitor and Camillo is a federary with her, and one that knows what she should shame to know herself. But with her most vile principle, that she's a bed swerver, even as bad as those that vulgars give boldsty titles, aye and privy to this their late escape. Hermione. No, by my life. Privy to none of this, how will this grieve you? When you shall come to clearer knowledge, that you thus have published me, gentle my lord. You scarce can write me throughly then, to say you did mistake. Chapter 50, Eontes. No, if I mistake. Chapter 1, End those foundations which I build upon. The center is not big enough to bear a schoolboy's top, away with her to prison. He who shall speak for her is afar off guilty. But that he speaks. Hermione. There's some ill planet reigns. Chapter 1, Must be patient till the heavens look with an aspect more favorable, good my lords. Chapter 1, Am not prone to weeping as our sex. Chapter 100, Commonly are, the one of which vain do. Perchance shall dry your pities, but I have that honorable grief lodged here which burns worse than tears drown, beseech you all my lords, with thoughts so qualified as your charities shall best instruct you, measure me, and so the king's will be performed. Chapter 50, Eontes. Shall I be heard? Hermione. Who is't that goes with me, beseech your highness? Chapter 1000, Why women may be with me, for you see. Chapter 1000, Why plight requires it, do not weep, good fools. There is no cause, when you shall know your mistress has deserved prison, then abound in tears. As I come out, this action I now go on. Chapter 1, S for my better grace, adieu my lord. Chapter 1, Never wish to see you sorry, now. Chapter 1, Trust I shall, my women come, you have leave. Chapter 50, Eontes. Go do our bidding, hence. Exeunt queen and ladies with guards. First lord. Beseech your highness, call the queen again. Aeantaguinues. Be certain what you do, sir, lest your justice prove violence, in the which three great ones suffer. Yourself, your queen, your son. First lord. For her, my lord. Chapter 1, Dare my life lay down and will dot, sir. Please you to accept it, that the queen is spotless. Chapter 1, Eyes of heaven, and to you, I mean. Chapter 1, End this which you accuse her. Aeantaguinues. Chapter 1, If it prove she's otherwise, I'll keep my stables where. Chapter 1, Lodge my wife, I'll go in couples with her. Then when I feel and see her no further trust her. For every inch of woman in the world, every dram of woman's flesh, is false. Chapter 1, F she be. Chapter 50, Eontes. Hold your peaces. First lord. Good my lord. Aeantaguinues. Chapter 1, Tea is for you we speak, not for ourselves. You are abuzzed, and by some putter on. That will be damned fort, would I knew the villain. Chapter 1, Would land damn him, be she honor flawed. Chapter 1, Have 3 daughters, the eldest is 11. The second and the third, 9 and some 5. Chapter 1. If this prove true, they'll pay for't, by mine honor. Chapter 1. I'll geld 'em all, 14 they shall not see. To bring false generations, they are co-heirs. And I had rather glib myself than they should not produce fair issue. Chapter 50. Eontes. Chapter 100. Ease, no more. You smell this business with a sense as cold as is a dead man's nose, but I do see't and feel't, as you feel doing thus, and see withal the instruments that feel. Aeantaguinus. Chapter 1. If it be so, we need no grave to bury honesty. There's not a grain of it the face to sweeten of the whole dungy earth. Chapter 50. Eontes. What lack I credit? First Lord. Chapter 1. Had rather you did lack than I, my lord. Upon this ground, and more it would content me to have her honor true than your suspicion. Be blamed for't how you might. Chapter 50. Eontes. Why, what need we? Chapter 100. Commune with you of this, but rather fall. Our forceful instigation, our prerogative. Chapter 100. All's not your counsels, but our natural goodness. Chapter 999. Parts this, which if you or stupefied, or seeming so in skill, cannot or will not relish a truth like us, inform yourselves. We need no more of your advice, the matter. The loss, the gain, the ordering on't is all properly ours. Aeantaguinus. And I wish, my liege, you had only in your silent judgment tried it, without more overture. Chapter 50. Eontes. How could that be? Either thou art most ignorant by age, or thou wert born a fool. Camillo's flight added to their familiarity, which was as gross as ever touched conjecture. That lacked sight only, not for approbation, but only seeing all other circumstances. Chapter 1000. Adapt to th deed doth push on this proceeding, yet for a greater confirmation. For in an act of this importance, tweer. Chapter 1000. Ost piteous to be wild, I have dispatched in post to sacred Delphos, to Apollo's temple. Chapter 150. Eamines and Dion, whom you know of stuffed sufficiency, now from the oracle. They will bring all, whose spiritual counsel had shall stop or spur me. Have I done well? First Lord. Well done, my lord. Chapter 50. Eontes. Though I am satisfied, and need no more than what I know, yet shall the oracle give rest to the minds of others, such as he, whose ignorant credulity will not. Chapter 100. Ohm up to th truth, so have we thought it good. From our free person she should be confined. Chapter 50. S that the treachery of the two fled hence. Be left her to perform. Come, follow us. We are to speak in public, for this business will raise us all. Aeantaguinus. To laughter, as I take it. Chapter 1. If the good truth were known. Scene 2. The same, the outer room of a prison. Enter Paulina, a gentleman and attendants. Paulina. The keeper of the prison, call to him. Chapter 50. Let him have knowledge who I am. Exit the gentleman. Good lady. No court in Europe is too good for thee. What dost thou then in prison? Enter gentleman with the jailer. Now, good sir, you know me, do you not? Jailer. For a worthy lady, and one who much I honor. Paulina. Pray you then. Chapter 100. Conduct me to the queen. Jailer. Chapter 1. May not, madam. To the contrary, I have express commandment. Paulina. Here's ado, to lock up honesty and honor from. Access of gentle visitors. Is lawful, pray you. To see her women, any of them, Emilia. Jailer. So please you, madam, to put apart these your attendants, I shall bring Emilia forth. Pawlna. Chapter 1. Pray now call her. Withdraw yourselves. Exeunt gentlemen and attendants. Jailer. And madam. Chapter 1. Must be present at your conference. Pawlna. Well, bet so, prithee. Here's such ado to make no stain a stain. As passes colouring. Re-entered jailer with Emilia. Chapter 500. Ear gentlewoman. How fares our gracious lady? Emilia. As well as one so great and so forlorn. Chapter 1000. I hold together on her frights and griefs, which never tender lady hath borne greater. She is, something before her time, delivered. Pawlna. A boy. Emilia. A daughter and a goodly babe. Chapter 50. Usty and like to live, the queen receives. Chapter 1000. Uch comfort in tea, says my poor prisoner. Chapter 1. Am as innocent as you. Pawlna. Chapter 1. Dare be sworn. These dangerous unsafe loons I, king, beshrew them. He must be told on't and he shall. The office becomes a woman best, I'll take't upon me. Chapter 1. If I prove honey-mouthed, let my tongue blister, and never to my red-looked anger be the trumpet any more, pray you, Emilia. Chapter 100. Amend my best obedience to the queen. Chapter 1. If she dares trust me with her little babe. Chapter 1. I'll shout the king and undertake to be her advocate to Loudsty. We do not know how he may soften at the sight child. The silence often of pure innocence persuades when speaking fails. Emilia. Chapter 1000. Ostworthy madam. Your honor and your goodness is so evident that your free undertaking cannot miss a thriving issue. There is no lady living so meet for this great errand, please your ladyship. To visit the next room, I'll presently acquaint the queen of your most noble offer, who but today hammered of this design, but durst not tempt a minister of honor. Chapter 50. Est she should be denied. Pawlna. Tell her, Emilia. Chapter 1. I'll use that tongue I have, if wit flow from tea, as boldness from my bosom, let not be doubted. Chapter 1. Shall do good. Emilia. Now be you blessed for it. Chapter 1. I'll to the queen, please you come something nearer. Jailer. Chapter 1000. Adam, if please the queen to send the babe. Chapter 1. Know not what I shall incur to pass it, having no warrant. Pawlna. You need not fear it, sir. This child was prisoner to the womb, and is, by law and process of great nature thence, freed and enfranchised, not a party to the anger of the king, nor guilty of. Chapter 1. If any be the trespass of the queen. Jailer. Chapter 1. Do believe it. Pawlna. Chapter 500. O not you fear, upon mine honor I will stand betwixt you and danger. Scene 3. The same, a room in the palace. Enter Leontes, Antigonus, lords and other attendants. Chapter 50. Leontes. Nor night nor day no rest, it is but weakness. To bear the matter thus, mere weakness, if the cause were not in being, pardo cause. She adulteress, for the harlot king. Chapter 1. Es quite beyond mine arm out of the blank and level of my brain plot-proof, but she. Chapter 1. Can hook to me, say that she were gone, given to the fire, a moiety of my rest. Chapter 1001. GHT come to me again, who's there? First attendant. Chapter 1000. Why Lord? Chapter 50. Leontes. How does the boy? First attendant. He took good rest tonight. Tease hopped his sickness is discharged. Chapter 50, Eontes. To see his nobleness. Chapter 100, onceiving the dishonor of his mother. He straight declined, drooped, took it deeply. Fastened, and fixed the shame on in himself. Threw off his spirit, his appetite, his sleep. And downright languished, leave me solely, go. See how he fares. Exit first attendant. Fie, no thought of him. The very thought of my revenges that way. Recoil upon me, in himself too mighty. And in his parties, his alliance, let him be. Until a time may serve, for present vengeance. Take it on her, Camillo and Polixenes. Chapter 50, awe at me, make their pastime at my sorrow. They should not laugh if I could reach them, nor shall she, within my power. Enter Paulina carrying a baby, with Antigonus, lords and servants. First Lord. You must not enter. Paulina. Nay, rather, good my lords, be second to me. Fear you his tyrannous passion more, alas, than the queen's life, a gracious innocent soul. Chapter 1000, or free than he is jealous. Antigonus. That's enough. Servant. Chapter 1000, Adam he hath not slept tonight, commanded. None should come at him. Paulina. Not so hot, good sir. Chapter 1, come to bring him sleep, tease such as you. That creep like shadows by him, and do sigh. At each his needless heavings, such as you. Nourish the cause of his awaking, I. Chapter 500, O come with words as medicinal as true. Honest as either, to purge him of that humor. That presses him from sleep. Chapter 50, Eontes. What noise there, ho? Paulina. No noise, my lord, but needful conference. About some gossips for your highness. Chapter 50, Eontes. How? Away with that audacious lady, Antigonus. Chapter 1, charged thee that she should not come about me. Chapter 1, knew she would. Antigonus. Chapter 1, told her so, my lord. On your displeasure's peril, and on mine. She should not visit you. Chapter 50, Eontes. What canst not rule her? Paulina. From all dishonesty he can, in this. Unless he take the course that you have done. Chapter 100, omit me for committing honor, trust it. He shall not rule me. Antigonus. Chapter 50, you hear. When she will take the rein, I let her run. But she'll not stumble. Paulina. Good my liege, I come. And I beseech you hear me, who professes. Chapter 1000, a self your loyal servant, your physician. Your most obedient counselor, yet that dares. Chapter 50, appear so in comforting your evils. Then such as most seem yours, I say I come. From your good queen. Chapter 50, Eontes. Good queen. Paulina. Good queen, my lord, good queen. I say good queen. And would by combat make her good, so were a man, the worst about you. Chapter 50, Eontes. Force her hence. Paulina. Chapter 50, at him that makes but trifles of his eyes. First hand me, on mine own accord I'll off. But first I'll do my errand, the good queen. For she is good, hath brought you forth a daughter. Here tease, commends it to your blessing. Laying down the child. Chapter 50, Eontes. Out. A mankind which, hence with her out o door. A most intelligencing bod. Paulina. Not so. Chapter 1, I'm as ignorant in that as you. Chapter 1, and so entitling me, and no less honest. Then you are mad, which is enough, I'll warrant, as this world goes, to pass for honest. Chapter 50, Eontes. Traitors. Will you not push her out, give her the bastard? Thou dotard, thou art woman turd unroosted. By thy dame partlet here, take up the bastard. Taked up, I say, give it to thy crone. Pawlna. Forever. Unvenerable be thy hands, if thou taxed up the princess by that forced baseness which he has put upon T. Chapter 50, Eontes. He dreads his wife. Pawlna. So I would you did, then tweer past all doubt. You'd call your children yours. Chapter 50, Eontes. A nest of traitors. Antaguinus. Chapter 1, am none by this good light. Pawlna. Nor I, nor any. But one that's here, and that's himself, for he, the sacred honor of himself, his queen S, his hopeful sons, his babe S betrays to slander, whose sting is sharper than the sword S, and will not. For, as the case now stands, it is a curse. He cannot be compelled taught, once remove the root of his opinion, which is rotten, as ever oak or stone was sound. Chapter 50, Eontes. A callet of boundless tongue, who late hath beat her husband, and now baits me, this brat is none of mine. Chapter 1, T is the issue of Polixenes. Hence with it, and together with the dam. Chapter 100, omit them to the fire. Pawlna. Chapter 1, T is yours. And might we lay th, old proverb to your charge? So like you T's the worse, behold my lords. Although the print be little, the whole matter. And copy of the father, eye, nose, lip. The trick of's frown, his forehead, nay the valley. The pretty dimples of his chin and cheek, his smiles. The very mold and frame of hand, nail, finger. And thou, good goddess nature, which hast made it, so like to him that got it, if thou hast. The ordering of the mind too, mongst all colors. No yellow in T, lest she suspect as he does. Her children not her husband, S. Chapter 50, Eontes. A gross hag. And Lozel, thou art worthy to be hanged. That wilt not stay her tongue. Antaguinus. Hang all the husbands. That cannot do that feat, you'll leave yourself. Hardly one subject. Chapter 50, Eontes. Once more, take her hence. Pawlna. A most unworthy and unnatural lord. Chapter 100, and do no more. Chapter 50, Eontes. Chapter 1, I'll have thee burnt. Pawlna. Chapter 1, care not. Chapter 1, T is an heretic that makes the fire. Not she which burns in, T I'll not call you tyrant. But this most cruel usage of your queen, not able to produce more accusation than your own weak-hanged fancy, something savors of tyranny, and will ignoble make you. Yea, scandalous to the world. Chapter 50, Eontes. On your allegiance. Out of the chamber with her, were I a tyrant. Where were her life? She durst not call me so. Chapter 1, if she did know me one, away with her. Pawlna. Chapter 1, pray you do not push me, I'll be gone. Chapter 50, ook to your babe, my lord, T's yours, Jove send her. A better guiding spirit, what needs these hands? You that are thus so tender o'er his follies will never do him good, not one of you. So, farewell, we are gone. Chapter 50, Eontes. Thou, traitor, hast set on thy wife to this. Chapter 1000, why, child, away with, even thou that hast a heart so tender o'er it, take it hence, and see it instantly consumed with fire. Even thou, and none but thou, take it up straight. Within this hour bring me word, 'tis done. And by good testimony, or I'll seize thy life. With that thou else calls te thine, if thou refuse, and wilt encounter with my wrath, say so. The bastard brains with these my proper hands. Shall I dash out, go take it to the fire? For thou set'st on thy wife. Nuance. Chapter 1. Did not, sir. These lords, my noble fellows, if they please. Chapter 100. And clear me and tea. Chapter 50. Ords. We can, my royal liege. He is not guilty of her coming hither. Chapter 50. Eontes. Your liars all. First Lord. Beseech your highness, give us better credit. We have always truly served you, and beseech. So to esteem of us, and on our knees we beg. As recompense of our dear services, past and to come, that you do change this purpose, which being so horrible, so bloody must. Chapter 50. Eat on to some foul issue, we all kneel. Chapter 50. Eontes. Chapter 1. Am a feather for each wind that blows. Shall I live on to see this bastard kneel? And call me father, better burn it now. Then curse it then, but be it, let it live. Chapter 1. Tea shall not neither, you sir, come you hither. You that have been so tenderly officious. With Lady Marjorie, your midwife there. To save this bastard's life, for tea's a bastard. So sure as this beard's grey, what will you adventure? To save this brat's life. Nuance. Anything, my lord, that my ability may undergo. And nobleness impose, at least thus much. Chapter 1. Upon the little blood which I have left. To save the innocent, anything possible. Chapter 50. Eontes. Chapter 1. Tea shall be possible, swear by this sword. Thou wilt perform my bidding. Nuance. Chapter 1. Will my lord. Chapter 50. Eontes. Chapter 1000. Ark and perform it cease thou, for the fail of any point in't shall not only be. Chapter 500. Eath to thyself, but to thy lewd-tongued wife, whom for this time we pardon, we enjoin thee, as thou art liegeman to us, that thou carry this female bastard hence, and that thou bear it to some remote and desert place, quite out of our dominions, and that there thou leave it, without more mercy, to it own protection, and favor of the climate, as by strange fortune. Chapter 1. Tea came to us, I do in justice charge thee, on thy soul's peril, and thy body's torture, that thou commend it strangely to some place, where chance may nurse or end it, take it up. Nuance. Chapter 1. Swear to do this, though a present death had been more merciful. Come on, poor babe. Some powerful spirit, instruct the kites and ravens to be thy nurses, wolves and bears, they say. Chapter 100. Asking their savageness aside, have done. Chapter 51. Key offices of pity, sir, be prosperous. Chapter 1. And more than this deed does require, and blessing. Against this cruelty, fight on thy side. Poor thing, condemned to loss. Exit with the child. Chapter 50. Eontes. No, I'll not rear another's issue. Enter a servant. Servant. Please your highness, posts. From those you sent to th, oracle are come. An hour since, Cleomenes and Dion, being well arrived from Delphos, are both landed, hasting to th court. First Lord. So please you, sir, their speed hath been beyond account. Chapter 50. Eontes. 23 days. They have been absent. T's good speed foretells the great Apollo suddenly will have the truth of this appear. Prepare you, lords. Summon a session, that we may arraign our most disloyal lady, for as she hath been publicly accused, so shall she have a just and open trial, while she lives. Chapter 1000. Why heart will be a burden to me, leave me, and think upon my bidding. Act 3. Scene 1. Sicilia, a street in some town. Enter Cleomenes and Dion. Chapter 150. Eomenias. The climate's delicate, the air most sweet. Fertile the isle, the temple much surpassing. The common praise it bears. Chapter 501. On. Chapter 1. Shall report. For most it caught me, the celestial habits. Methinks I so should term them, and the reverence of the grave wearers, oh, the sacrifice. How ceremonious, solemn, and unearthly. Chapter 1. Tea was ith offering. Chapter 150. Eomenias. But of all the burst, and the ear-deafening voice, oth oracle, kin to Jove's thunder, so surprised my sense, that I was nothing. Chapter 501. On. Chapter 1. F the event oth journey. Prove as successful to the queen, O bet so, as it hath been to us rare, pleasant, speedy. The time is worth the use on't. Chapter 150. Eomenias. Great Apollo, turn all to th best, these proclamations, so forcing faults upon Hermione. Chapter 1. Little like. Chapter 501. On. The violent carriage of it will clear or end the business, when the oracle, thus by Apollo's great divine sealed up, shall the contents discover, something rare. Even then will rush to knowledge, go, fresh horses, and gracious be the issue. Scene 2. The same, a court of justice. Enter Leontes, lords and officers appear, properly seated. Chapter 50. Eontes. This sessions, to our great grief we pronounce. Even pushes, gainst our heart, the party tried. The daughter of a king, our wife and one. Of us too much beloved, let us be cleared. Of being tyrannous, since we so openly proceed in justice, which shall have due course. Even to the guilt, or the purgation. Produce the prisoner. Officer. Chapter 1. T is His Highness' pleasure that the Queen appear in person here in court. Silence. Hermione is brought in guarded, Paulina and ladies attending. Chapter 50. Eontes. Read the indictment. Officer. Hermione, Queen to the worthy Leontes, King of Sicilia, thou art here accused and arraigned of high treason, in committing adultery with Polixenes, King of Bohemia, and conspiring with Camillo to take away the life of our sovereign lord the king, thy royal husband. The pretense whereof being by circumstances partly laid open, thou, Hermione, contrary to the faith and allegiance of a true subject, didst counsel and aid them, for their better safety, to fly away by night. Hermione. Since what I am to say must be but that which contradicts my accusation, and the testimony on my part no other. But what comes from myself, it shall scarce boot me to say not guilty, mine integrity, being counted falsehood, shall, as I express it, be so received, but thus, if powers divine, behold our human actions, as they do. Chapter 1. Doubt not then, but innocence shall make false accusation blush, and tyranny tremble at patience. You, my lord, best know, who least will seem to do so, my past life hath been as continent, as chaste, as true, as I am now unhappy, which is more than history can pattern, though devist, and play to take spectators, for behold me, a fellow of the royal bed, which a moiety of the throne, a great king's daughter, the mother to a hopeful prince, here standing, to prate and talk for life and honor for, who please to come and hear, for life I prize it, as I weigh grief which I would spare, for honor. 'Tis a derivative from me to mine, and only that I stand for, I appeal to your own conscience, sir, before Polixenes. Chapter 100. Aim to your court how I was in your grace. How merited to be so, since he came. With what encounter so uncurrent I have strained tea appear thus, if one jot beyond the bound of honor, or in act or will. That way inclining, hardened be the hearts of all that hear me, and my nearsty of kin. Chapter 100, Ri-fi upon my grave. Chapter 50, Eontes. Chapter 1, Ne'er heard yet that any of these bolder vices wanted. Chapter 50, S impudence to gainsay what they did, then to perform it first. Hermione. That's true enough, though 'tis a saying, sir, not due to me. Chapter 50, Eontes. You will not own it. Hermione. Chapter 1000, or than mistress of, which comes to me in name of fault, I must not at all acknowledge, for Polixenes, with whom I am accused, I do confess. Chapter 1, loved him as in honor he required, with such a kind of love as might become a lady like me, with a love even such, so and no other, as yourself commanded, which not to have done, I think had been in me both disobedience and ingratitude to you and toward your friend, whose love had spoke, ever since it could speak, from an infant freely, that it was yours, now for conspiracy. Chapter 1, know not how it tastes though it be dished, for me to try how, all I know of it. Chapter 1, that Camillo was an honest man, and why he left your court, the gods themselves, wotting no more than I, are ignorant. Chapter 50, Eontes. You knew of his departure, as you know, what you have undertaken to do in his absence. Hermione. Sir, you speak a language that I understand not. Chapter 1000, why life stands in the level of your dreams, which I'll lay down. Chapter 50, Eontes. Your actions are my dreams. You had a bastard by Polixenes, and I but dreamed it, as you were past all shame. Those of your fact are so past all truth, which to deny concerns more than avails, for as thy brat hath been cast out, like to itself, no father owning it, which is, indeed. Chapter 1000, or criminal in thee than it, so thou shalt feel our justice, in whose easiest passage. Chapter 50, uk for no less than death. Hermione. Sir, spare your threats. The bug which you would fright me with, I seek. To me can life be no commodity. The crown and comfort of my life, your favor. Chapter 1, do give lost, for I do feel it gone, but know not how it went, my second joy, and first fruits of my body, from his presence. Chapter 1, am barred like one infectious, my third comfort, starred most unluckily, is from my breast. The innocent milk, in its most innocent mouth, howled out to murder, myself on every post, proclaimed a strumpet, with immodest hatred. The childbed privilege denied, which longs to women of all fashion, lastly hurried here to this place, ith open air before. Chapter 1, have got strength of limit, now my liege. Tell me what blessings I have here alive, that I should fear to die, therefore proceed. But yet hear this, mistake me not, no life. Chapter 1, prize it not a straw but for mine honor, which I would free, if I shall be condemned. Upon surmises, all proof sleeping else. But what your jealousies awake, I tell you, 'tis rigor and not law, your honors all. Chapter 1, do refer me to the oracle. Apollo be my judge. First Lord, this your request. Chapter 1, altogether just, therefore bring forth, and in Apollo's name, his oracle. Exeunt certain officers. Hermione. The Emperor of Russia was my father. Oh, that he were alive, and here beholding his daughter's trial, that he did but see the flatness of my misery, yet with eyes of pity, not revenge. Enter officers with Cleomenes and Dion. Officer, you here shall swear upon this sword of justice, that you, Cleomenes and Dion, have been both at Delphos, and from thence have brought this sealed-up oracle, by the hand delivered of great Apollo's priest, and that since then you have not dared to break the holy seal, nor read the secrets int. Chapter 150, Eomenes Dion. All this we swear. Chapter 50, Eontes. Break up the seals and read. Officer, Hermione is chaste, Polixenes blameless, Camillo a true subject, Leontes a jealous tyrant, his innocent babe truly begotten, and the king shall live without an heir if that which is lost be not found. Chapter 50, Ords. Now blessed be the great Apollo. Hermione. Praised. Chapter 50, Eontes. Hast thou read truth? Officer. Aye, my lord, even so, as it is here set down. Chapter 50, Eontes. There is no truth at all oracle. The sessions shall proceed, this is mere falsehood. Enter a servant hastily. Servant. Chapter 1000, Why Lord the King. Chapter 50, Eontes. What is the business? Servant. Oh, sir, I shall be hated to report it. The prince your son, with mere conceit and fear of the queen's speed, is gone. Chapter 50, Eontes. How gone? Servant. Chapter 1, is dead. Chapter 50, Eontes. Apollo's angry, and the heavens themselves. Chapter 500, Oh, strike at my injustice. Hermione faints. How now there? Palna. This news is mortal to the queen. Look down and see what death is doing. Chapter 50, Eontes. Take her hence. Her heart is but o'ercharged, she will recover. Chapter 1, Have too much believed mine own suspicion. Beseech you tenderly apply to her some remedies for life. Exeunt Paulina, and ladies with Hermione. Apollo, pardon. Chapter 1000, Why great profaneness gainst thine oracle. Chapter 1, O reconcile me to Polixenes. New woo my queen, recall the good Camillo, whom I proclaim a man of truth, of mercy. For, being transported by my jealousies to bloody thoughts and to revenge, I chose. Chapter 100, Amillo for the minister to poison. Chapter 1000, Why friend Polixenes, which had been done, but that the good mind of Camillo tardied. Chapter 1000, Why swift command, though I with death and with reward did threaten and encourage him, not doing it and being done, he most humane, and filled with honor, to my kingly guest, unclasped my practice, quit his fortunes here, which you knew great, and to the certain hazard of all uncertainties himself commended. No richer than his honor, how he glisters thorough my rust, and how his piety. Chapter 500, Owes my deeds make the blacker. Enter Paulina. Palna. Woe the while. Oh, cut my lace, lest my heart, cracking it, break too. First Lord. What fit is this, good lady? Palna. What studied torments, tyrant, hast for me? What wheels, racks, fires, what flaying, boiling? Chapter 1, N leads or oils, what old or newer torture? Chapter 1000, Must I receive, whose every word deserves to taste of thy most worst, thy tyranny, together, working with thy jealousies. Fancies too weak for boys, too green and idle. For girls of 9, oh, think what they have done. And then run mad indeed, stark mad, for all. Thy bygone fooleries were but spices of it. That thou betrayedst Polixenes, 'twas nothing. That did but show thee, of a fool inconstant, and damnable ingrateful, nor wast much. Thou wouldst have poisoned good Camillo's honor, to have him kill a king, poor trespasses. Chapter 1000, or monstrous standing by, whereof I reckon the casting forth to crows thy baby daughter, to be or none or little, though a devil, would have shed water out of fire ere don't, nor is't directly laid to thee the death of the young prince, whose honorable thoughts high for one so tender, cleft the heart, that could conceive a gross and foolish sire, blemished his gracious dam. This is not no. Chapter 50, aid to thy answer, but the last, O lords. When I have said, cry woe, the queen, the sweetsty, dearsty creatures dead, and vengeance fort, not dropped down yet. First Lord, the higher powers forbid. Palna. Chapter 1, say she's dead, I'll swear't, if word nor oath. Prevail not, go and see, if you can bring tincture, or luster in her lip, her eye, heat outwardly or breath within, I'll serve you, as I would do the gods, but O thou tyrant. Chapter 500, O not repent these things, for they are heavier than all thy woes can stir, therefore betake thee to nothing but despair, 1,000 knees, 10,000 years together, naked, fasting, upon a barren mountain, and still winter. Chapter 1, end storm perpetual could not move the gods to look that way thou wert. Chapter 50, Leontes. Go on, go on. Thou canst not speak too much, I have deserved all tongues to talk their bitterest. First Lord, say no more. Howe'er the business goes, you have made fault. Chapter 1, boldness of your speech. Palna. Chapter 1, am sorry for all faults I make, when I shall come to know them. Chapter 1, do repent, alas I have showed too much. The rashness of a woman, he is touched. To noble heart, what's gone and what's past help should be past grief, do not receive affliction. At my petition, I beseech you rather. Chapter 50, let me be punished that have minded you of what you should forget. Now, good my liege, sir, royal sir, forgive a foolish woman. The love I bore your queen, lo, fool again. Chapter 1, I'll speak of her no more, nor of your children. Chapter 1, I'll not remember you of my own lord, who is lost too, take your patience to you, and I'll say nothing. Chapter 50, Leontes. Thou didst speak but well, when most the truth, which I receive much better than to be pitied of thee. Prithee bring me to the dead bodies of my queen and son. One grave shall be for both, upon them shall the causes of their death appear, unto our shame perpetual. Once a day I'll visit the chapel where they lie, and tears shed there shall be my recreation, so long as nature will bear up with this exercise, so long. Chapter 1, daily vow to use it, come and lead me to these sorrows. Scene 3, Bohemia, a desert country near the sea. Enter Antigonus, with the child and a mariner. Antigonus. Thou art perfect, then, our ship hath touched upon the deserts of Bohemia. Chapter 1000, Ariner. I, my lord, in fear. We have landed in ill time, the skies look grimly, and threaten present blusters. In my conscience, the heavens with that we have in hand are angry, and frown upon us. Antigonus. Their sacred wills be done, go get aboard. Chapter 50, Ook to thy bark, I'll not be long before. Chapter 1, call upon thee. Chapter 1000, Ariner. Chapter 1000, ake your best haste and go not too far. Land, 'tis like to be loud weather. Besides, this place is famous for the creatures of prey that keep upon tea. nuance. Go thou away. Chapter 1. I'll follow instantly. Chapter 1000. Ariner. Chapter 1. Am glad at heart. To be so rid oth, business. Nuance. Chapter 100. Poor babe. Chapter 1. Have heard but not believed the spirits of the dead. Chapter 1000. I walk again, if such thing be thy mother. Appeared to me last night, for ne'er was dream. So like a waking, to me comes a creature. Sometimes her head on one side, some another. Chapter 1. Never saw a vessel of like sorrow. So filled and so becoming, in pure white robes. Chapter 51. Key very sanctity she did approach. Chapter 1000. Why cabin where I lay, thrice bowed before me. And, gasping to begin some speech, her eyes became two spouts, the fury spent anon. Chapter 999. This break from her, good Antigonus. Since fate, against thy better disposition, hath made thy person for the thrower out of my poor babe, according to thine oath. Places remote enough are in Bohemia. There weep and leave it crying, and for the babe. Chapter 1. Counted lost forever Perdita. Chapter 1. Prithee calt, for this ungentle business. Put on thee by my lord, thou ne'er shalt see thy wife Paulina more, and so with shrieks she melted into air, affrighted much. Chapter 1. Did in time collect myself and thought. This was so, and no slumber, dreams are toys. Yet for this once, yea, superstitiously. Chapter 1. Will be squared by this, I do believe. Hermione hath suffered death, and that Apollo would, this being indeed the issue of King Polixenes, it should here be laid, either for life or death, upon the earth. Of its right father, blossoms speed thee well, there lie, and there thy character, there these. Laying down the child, and a bundle, which may if fortune please, both breed thee pretty. And still rest thine, the storm begins, poor wretch, that for thy mother's fault art thus exposed. To loss and what may follow, weep I cannot. But my heart bleeds, and most accursed am I. To be by oath enjoined to this, farewell. The day frowns more and more, thou it like to have a lullaby too rough, I never saw. The heavens so dim by day, a savage clamor. Well may I get aboard, this is the chase. Chapter 1. Am gone forever. Exit, pursued by a bear. Enter an old shepherd. Shepherd. Chapter 1. Would there were no age between 10 and 23, or that youth would sleep out the rest, for there is nothing in the between but getting wenches with child, wronging the ancientry, stealing, fighting, hark you now. Would any but these boiled brains of 19 and 22 hunt this weather? They have scared away 2 of my best sheep, which I fear the wolf will sooner find than the master, if anywhere I have them. Teased by the seaside, browsing of ivy. Good luck, and tea be thy will, what have we here? Taking up the child. Chapter 1000. Ursion's a bairn, a very pretty bairn, a boy or a child, I wonder. A pretty one, a very pretty one, sure some scape. Though I am not bookish, yet I can read waiting gentlewoman in the scape. This has been some stair work, some trunk work, some behind door work. They were warmer that got this than the poor thing is here. I'll take it up for pity, yet I'll tarry till my son come, he hallowed but even now. Wo ho hoa. Enter clown. Chapter 150. Own. Hillo as Loa. Shepherd. What art so near? If thou'lt see a thing to talk on when thou art dead and rotten, come hither. What ails thee, thou man? Chapter 150. Own. Chapter 1. Have seen 2 such sights, by sea and by land. But I am not to say it is a sea, for it is now the sky. Betwixt the firmament and it, you cannot thrust a bodkin's point. Shepherd. Why, boy, how is it? Chapter 150. Own. Chapter 1. Would you did but see how it chafes, how it rages, how it takes up the shore. But that's not to the point. Oh, the most piteous cry of the poor souls. Sometimes to see 'em and not to see 'em. Now the ship boring the moon with her mainmast, and anon swallowed with yest and froth, as you'd thrust a cork into a hogshead. And then for the land service, to see how the bear tore out his shoulder bone, how he cried to me for help, and said his name was Antigonus, a nobleman. But to make an end of the ship, to see how the sea flap-dragoned it. But first, how the poor souls roared, and the sea mocked them, and how the poor gentleman roared, and the bear mocked him, both roaring louder than the sea or weather. Shepherd. Name of mercy, when was this, boy? Chapter 150, Own. Now, I have not winked since I saw these sights. The men are not yet cold under water, nor the bear half dined on the gentleman. He's at it now. Shepherd. Would I had been by to have helped the old man. Chapter 150, Own. Chapter 1. Would you had been by the ship's side to have helped her, there your charity would have lacked footing. Shepherd. Heavy matters, but look thee here, boy, now bless thyself, thou met'st thee with things dying, I with things new born. Here's a sight for thee. Look thee, a bearing cloth for a squire's child. Look thee here, take up, boy, open't. So, let's see. It was told me I should be rich by the fairies. This is some changeling, open't. What's within, boy? Chapter 150, Own. You're a made old man. If the sins of your youth are forgiven you, you're well to live. Gold, all gold. Shepherd. This is fairy gold, boy, and 'twill prove so. Up with it, keep it close. Home, the next way. We are lucky, boy, and to be so still requires nothing but secrecy. Let my sheep go. Come, good boy, the next way home. Chapter 150, Own. Go you the next way with your findings. I'll go see if the bear be gone from the gentleman, and how much he hath eaten. They are never cursed but when they are hungry. If there be any of him left, I'll bury it. Shepherd. That's a good deed. If thou mayest discern by that which is left of him what he is, fetch me to sight of him. Chapter 150, Own. Chapter 1000. Awry will I, and you shall help to put him ground. Shepherd. 'Tis a lucky day, boy, and we'll do good deeds on tea. Act 4. Scene 1. Enter Time, the chorus. Time. Chapter 1. That pleasome trial, both joy and terror. Of good and bad, that makes and unfolds error. Now take upon me, in the name of time. To use my wings, impute it not a crime. To me or my swift passage, that I slide o'er 16 years, and leave the growth untried. Of that wide gap, since it is in my power, to o'erthrow law, and in one self-born hour, to plant and o'erwhelm custom, let me pass. The same I am, ere anciency order was. Or what is now received, I witness too. The times that brought them in, so shall I do. To freshest things now reigning and make stale. The glistering of this present, as my tale. Now seems to it, your patience this allowing. Chapter 1. Turn my glass and give my scenes such growing. As you had slept between, Leontes leaving. Effects of his fond jealousies, so grieving. That he shuts up himself, imagine me. Gentle spectators, that I now may be. Chapter 1. End fair Bohemia, and remember well. Chapter 1. Mentioned a son Kings, which Florizel. Chapter 1. Now name to you, and with speed so pace. To speak of Perdita, now grown in grace. Equal with wondering, what of her ensues? Chapter 1. List not prophesy, but let time's news be known when 'tis brought forth, a shepherd's daughter, and what to her adheres, which follows after. Chapter 1. Argument of time, of this allow. Chapter 1. If ever you have spent time worse ere now. Chapter 1. If never, yet that time himself doth say. He wishes earnestly, you never may. Scene 2. Bohemia, a room in the palace of Polixenes. Enter Polixenes and Camillo. Polixenes. Chapter 1. Pray thee, good Camillo, be no more importunate. 'Tis a sickness denying thee anything, a death to grant this. Chapter 100. AMILLO. Chapter 1. Is 15 years since I saw my country. Though I have for the most part been aired abroad, I desire to lay my bones there. Besides, the penitent king, my master, hath sent for me, to whose feeling sorrows I might be some allay, or I orween to think so, which is another spur to my departure. Poetic. As thou lovest me, Camillo, wipe not out the rest of thy services by leaving me now. The need I have of thee, thine own goodness hath made. Better not to have had thee than thus to want thee. Thou, having made me businesses which none without thee can sufficiently manage, must either stay to execute them thyself, or take away with thee the very services thou hast done, which if I have not enough considered. As too much I cannot, to be more thankful to thee shall be my study, and my profit therein the heaping friendships. Of that fatal country Sicilia, prithee speak no more, whose very naming punishes me with the remembrance of that penitent, as thou call'st him, and reconciled king, my brother, whose loss of his most precious queen and children are even now to be afresh lamented. Say to me, when saw'st thou the Prince Florizel, my son? Kings are no less unhappy, their issue not being gracious, than they are in losing them when they have approved their virtues. Chapter 100. AMILLO. Sir, it is 3 days since I saw the prince. What his happier affairs may be, are to me unknown, but I have missingly noted he is of late much retired from court, and is less frequent to his princely exercises than formerly he hath appeared. Poetic. Chapter 1. Have considered so much, Camillo, and with some care, so far that I have eyes under my service which look upon his removedness, from whom I have this intelligence, that he is seldom from the house of a most homely shepherd, a man, they say, that from very nothing, and beyond the imagination of his neighbors, is grown into an unspeakable estate. Chapter 100. AMILLO. Chapter 1. Have heard, sir, of such a man, who hath a daughter of most rare note. The report of her is extended more than can be thought to begin from such a cottage. Poetic. That's likewise part of my intelligence, but I fear the angle that plucks our son thither. Thou shalt accompany us to the place, where we will, not appearing what we are, have some question with the shepherd, from whose simplicity I think it not uneasy to get the cause of my son's resort thither. Prithee, be my present partner in this business, and lay aside the thoughts of Cecilia. Chapter 100. AMILLO. Chapter 1. Willingly obey your command. Poetic. Chapter 1000. Why best Camillo, we must disguise ourselves. Scene 3. The same, a road near the shepherd's cottage. Enter Autolycus, singing. Autylys. When daffodils begin to peer. With hay, the doxy over the dale. Why, then comes in the sweet the year. For the red blood reigns in the winter's pale. The white sheet bleaching on the hedge. With hay, the sweet birds, how they sing. Chapter 500. Oth set my pugging tooth on edge. For a quart of ale is a dish for a king. The lark, that turalura chants. With hay, the thrush and the jay. Are summer songs for me and my aunts, while we lie tumbling in the hay. Chapter 1. Have served Prince Florizel, and in my time wore 3-pile, but now I am out of service. But shall I go mourn for that, my dear? The pale moon shines by night, and when I wander here and there. Chapter 1. Then do most go right. Chapter 1. F. Tinkers may have leave to live, and bear the sow-skin budget. Then my account I well may give, and in the stocks avouch it. Chapter 1000. Why traffic is sheets when the kite builds look to lesser linen. My father named me Autolycus, who being I as am littered under Mercury was likewise a snapper-up of unconsidered trifles. With dye and drab I purchased this caparison, and my revenue is the silly cheat. Gallows and knock are too powerful on the highway. Beating and hanging are terrors to me. For the life to come I sleep out the thought of it. A prize, a prize. Enter clown. Chapter 150. Own. Chapter 50. Let me see. Every leven wether tods, every tod yields pound and odd shilling. 1,500 shorn, what comes the wool to? Autylys. If the springe hold, the cock's mine. Chapter 150, Own. Chapter 1, Cannot dot without counters. Let me see, what am I to buy for our sheep-shearing feast? 3 pound of sugar, 5 pound of currants, rice. What will this sister of mine do with rice? But my father hath made her mistress of the feast, and she lays it on. She hath made me 24 nosegays for the shearers, 3-man songmen all, and very good ones. But they are most of them means and basses, but one Puritan amongst them, and he sings psalms to hornpipes. I must have saffron to color the warden pies. Mace, dates, none, that's out of my note. Nutmegs, 7, a race or 2 of ginger, but that I may beg. 4 pound of prunes, and as many of raisins, O.Th. son. Autoicus. Groveling on the ground, oh that ever I was born. Chapter 150, Own. Chapter 1, Th. Name of me. Autoicus. Oh, help me, pluck but off these rags, and then death, death. Chapter 150, Own. Alack, poor soul, thou hast need of more rags to lay on thee, rather than have these off. Autoicus. Oh, sir, the loathsomeness of them offends me more than the stripes I have received, which are mighty ones and millions. Chapter 150, Own. Alas, poor man, a million of beating may come to a great matter. Autoicus. Chapter 1, Am robbed, sir, and beaten, my money and apparel ta'en from me, and these detestable things put upon me. Chapter 150, Own. What by a horseman or a footman? Autoicus. A footman, sweet sir, a footman. Chapter 150, Own. Chapter 1, Indeed, he should be a footman by the garments he has left with thee. If this be a horseman's coat, it hath seen very hot service. Lend me thy hand, I'll help thee. Come, lend me thy hand. Autoicus. Oh, good sir, tenderly, oh. Chapter 150, Own. Alas, poor soul. Autoicus. Oh, good sir, softly, good sir. I fear, sir, my shoulder blade is out. Chapter 150, Own. How now, canst stand? Autoicus. Softly, dear sir, picks his pocket. Good sir, softly, you ha done me a charitable office. Chapter 150, Own. Chapter 500, Ost lack any money, I have a little money for thee. Autoicus. No, good sweet sir, no, I beseech you, sir. I have a kinsman not past 3/4 of a mile hence, unto whom I was going. I shall there have money or anything I want. Offer me no money, I pray you, that kills my heart. Chapter 150, Own. What manner of fellow was he that robbed you? Autoicus. A fellow, sir, that I have known to go about with troll my dames. I knew him once a servant of the prince. I cannot tell, good sir, for which of his virtues it was, but he was certainly whipped out of the court. Chapter 150, Own. His vices, you would say, there's no virtue whipped out of the court. They cherish it to make it stay there, and yet it will no more but abide. Autoicus. Chapter 104, Ease, I would say, sir. I know this man well. He hath been since an ape-bearer, then a process-server, a bailiff. Then he compassed a motion of the prodigal son, and married a tinker's wife within a mile where my land and living lies, and having flown over many knavish professions, he settled only in rogue. Some call him Autolycus. Chapter 150, Own. Out upon him, prig for my life, prig. He haunts wakes, fairs, and bear-baitings. Autoicus. Chapter 5, True, sir, he, that's the rogue that put me into this apparel. Chapter 150, Own. Not a more cowardly rogue in all Bohemia. If you had but looked big and spit at him, he'd have run. Autoicus. Chapter 1, Must confess to you, sir, I am no fighter. I am false of heart that way, and that he knew, I warrant him. Chapter 150, Own. How do you now? Autoicus. Sweet sir, much better than I was. I can stand and walk. I will even take my leave of you and pace softly towards my kinsman, S. Chapter 150, Own. Shall I bring thee on the way? Autylys. No, good face, sir. No, sweet sir. Chapter 150, Own. Then fare thee well. I must go buy spices for our sheep shearing. Autylys. Prosper you, sweet sir. Your purse is not hot enough to purchase your spice. I'll be with you at your sheep shearing too. If I make not this cheat bring out another, and the shearers prove sheep, let me be unrolled, and my name put in the book of virtue. Jog on the footpath way, and merrily hent the stile. A merry heart goes all the day. Your sad tires in a mile. Scene 4, the same, a shepherd's cottage. Enter Florizel and Perdita. Ephelorizl. These are unusual weeds to each part of you. Chapter 500. Oh, give a life, no shepherdess but Flora. Peering in April's front, this your sheep shearing. Chapter 1. S as a meeting of the petty gods. And you the queen on tea. Perdita. Sir, my gracious lord. To chide at your extremes it not becomes me. Oh, pardon that I name them, your high self. The gracious mark OTH, land, you have obscured. With a swain's wearing, and me, poor lowly maid. Chapter 1000, Ost goddess-like pranked up, but that are feasts. Chapter 1, and every mess have folly and the feeders. Chapter 501, jest it with a custom I should blush. To see you so attired, swoon I think. To show myself a glass. Ephelorizl. Chapter 1, bless the time. When my good falcon made her flight across thy father's ground. Perdita. Now Jove afford you cause. To me the difference forges dread, your greatness hath not been us to fear, even now I tremble. To think your father, by some accident, should pass this way as you did, oh the fates. How would he look to see his work, so noble? Chapter 54, Ely bound up, what would he say, or how? Should I, in these my borrowed flaunts, behold the sternness of his presence? Ephelorizl. Apprehend. Nothing but jollity, the gods themselves, humbling their deities to love, have taken the shapes of beasts upon them. Jupiter became a bull and bellowed, the green Neptune a ram and bleated, and the fire robbed God. Golden Apollo, a poor humble swain. As I seem now, their transformations were never for a piece of beauty rara, nor in a way so chaste, since my desires run not before mine honor, nor my lusts burn hotter than my faith. Perdita. Oh, but sir, your resolution cannot hold when teased, opposed as it must be, by the power of the king. One of these two must be necessities, which then will speak, that you must change this purpose, or I my life. Ephelorizl. Thou dearest Perdita, with these forked thoughts, I prithee darken not the mirth OTH feast, or I'll be thine my fair, or not my father's, for I cannot be. Chapter 1001, ne own, nor anything to any, if. Chapter 1, be not thine, to this I am most constant. Though destiny say no, be merry gentle. Strangle such thoughts as these with anything that you behold the while, your guests are coming. Chapter 51, ft up your countenance as it were the day of celebration of that nuptial which we too have sworn shall come. Perdita. O Lady Fortune, stand you auspicious. Ephelorizl. See, your guests approach. Address yourself to entertain them sprightly, and let's be red with mirth. Enter shepherd with Polixenes and Camillo, disguised, clown, Mopsa, Dorcas with others. Shepherd. Fie, daughter, when my old wife lived upon this day she was both pantler, butler, cook, both dame and servant, welcomed all, served all. Would sing her song and dance her turn, now here. At upper end O-th, table now I-th middle. On his shoulder and his, her face o' fire. With labor, and the thing she took to quench it. She would to each one sip, you are retired. As if you were a feasted one, and not the hostess of the meeting, pray you. These unknown friends 'tis welcome, for it is a way to make us better friends, more known. Chapter 100. Quench your blushes and present yourself. That which you are, Mistress O-th feast, come on. And bid us welcome to your sheep shearing. As your good flock shall prosper. Perdita. Sir, welcome. Chapter 1. Tea is my father's will I should take on me. The hostessship o' the day. You're welcome, sir. Give me those flowers there, Dorcas, reverend sirs. For you there's rosemary and rue, these keep seeming and savor all the winter long. Grace and remembrance be to you both. And welcome to our shearing. Poetic. Shepherdess. A fair one are you, well you fit our ages. With flowers of winter. Perdita. Sir, the year growing ancient. Not yet on summer's death, nor on the birth of trembling winter, the fairest flowers O-th season are our carnations and streaked gillivers, which some call nature's bastards, of that kind. Our rustic gardens barren, and I care not to get slips of them. Poetic. Wherefore, gentle maiden. Chapter 500. O you neglect them. Perdita. For I have heard it said, there is an art which, in their piedness, shares with great creating nature. Poetic. Say there be. Yet nature is made better by no mean. But nature makes that mean, so over that art, which you say adds to nature, is an art that nature makes, you see, sweet maid, we marry a gentler scion to the wildest stock, and make conceive a bark of baser kind. By bud of nobler race, this is an art which does mend nature, change it rather, but the art itself is nature. Perdita. So it is. Poetic. Then make your garden rich in gillivers, and do not call them bastards. Perdita. Chapter 1. I'll not put the dibble in earth to set one slip of them. No more than, were I painted, I would wish this youth should say, "Tweer well," and only therefore. Chapter 500. Here to breed by me, here's flowers for you. Hot lavender, mints, savory marjoram. The marigold, that goes to bed with th sun. And with him rises weeping. These are flowers of middle summer, and I think they are given to men of middle age. You're very welcome. Chapter 100. Amillo. Chapter 1. Should leave grazing were I of your flock, and only live by gazing. Perdita. Out, alas. You'd be so lean that blasts of January would blow you through and through. Now, my fair-stee friend. Chapter 1. Would I had some flowers O-th spring that might become your time of day, and yours, that wear upon your virgin branches, yet your maidenhead's growing, O Proserpina. From the flowers now that, frighted, thou let'st fall. From Dis's wagon, daffodils, that come before the swallow dares, and take the winds of March with beauty, violets dim, but sweeter than the lids of Juno's eyes, or Cytherea's breath, pale primroses, that die unmarried ere they can behold bright Phoebus in his strength, a malady. Chapter 1000. Ost incident to maids, bold oxlips and the crown imperial, lilies of all kinds. The flower de luce being one. Oh, these I lack to make you garlands of, and my sweet friend to strew him o'er and o'er. Epheloriziel. What like a course? Perdita. No, like a bank for love to lie and play on. Not like a course, or if not to be buried. But quick and in mine arms, come take your flowers. Chapter 1000. E thinks I play as I have seen them do. Chapter 1. En Whitsun pastorals, sure this robe of mine. Chapter 500. O's change my disposition. Epheloriziel. What you do still better's what is done, when you speak sweet. Chapter 1. Have you do it ever, when you sing. Chapter 1. Have you buy and sell so give alms. Pray so, and for the ordering your affairs. To sing them too, when you do dance I wish you. A wave OTHC, that you might ever do. Nothing but that, move still so. And own no other function, each your doing. So singular in each particular. Chapter 100. Roans what you are doing in the present deeds. That all your acts are queens. Perdita. O doricles. Your praises are too large, but that your youth. And the true blood which peeps fairly through tea. Chapter 500. O plainly give you out an unstained shepherd. With wisdom I might fear, my doricles. You wooed me the false way. Epheloriziel. Chapter 1. Think you have as little skill to fear as I have purpose. To put you to tea but come, our dance I pray. Your hand, my Perdita, so turtles pair. That never mean to part. Perdita. Chapter 1. I'll swear for him. Poetic. This is the prettiest low-born lass that ever ran on the greensward, nothing she does or seems, but smacks of something greater than herself. Too noble for this place. Chapter 100. Amillo. He tells her something. That makes her blood look out. Good sooth she is. The queen of curds and cream. Chapter 150. Own. Chapter 100. Oman strike up. Chapter 500. ORCAS. Chapter 1000. Opsa must be your mistress, Mary Garlic to mend her kissing with. Chapter 1000. OPSA. Now in good time. Chapter 150. Own. Not a word, we stand upon our manners. Chapter 100. Ohm strike up. Music, hear a dance of shepherds and shepherdesses. Poetic. Pray, good shepherd, what fair swain is this, which dances with your daughter? Shepherd. They call him Doricles, and boasts himself to have a worthy feeding, but I have it upon his own report, and I believe it. He looks like sooth, he says he loves my daughter. Chapter 1. Think so too, for never gaz the moon upon the water as he'll stand and read. As twere my daughter's eyes, and to be plain. Chapter 1. Think there is not half a kiss to choose. Who loves another best? Poetic. She dances featly. Shepherd. So she does anything, though I report it. That should be silent, if young Doricles. Chapter 500. O light upon her, she shall bring him that which he not dreams of. Enter a servant. Servant. O master, if you did but hear the peddler at the door, you would never dance again after a tabor and pipe. No, the bagpipe could not move you. He sings several tunes faster than you'll tell money. He utters them as he had eaten ballads, and all men's ears grew to his tunes. Chapter 150. Own. He could never come better. He shall come in. I love a ballad, but even too well, if it be doleful matter merrily set down, or a very pleasant thing indeed, and sung lamentably. Servant. He hath songs for man or woman of all sizes. No milliner can so fit his customers with gloves. He has the prettiest love songs for maids, so without bawdry, which is strange, with such delicate burdens of dildos and fadings, jump her and thump her. And where some stretch-mouthed rascal would, as it were, mean mischief and break a foul gap into the matter, he makes the maid to answer, whoop, do me no harm, good man. Puts him off, slights him with whoop, do me no harm, good man. Poetic. This is a brave fellow. Chapter 150. Own. Believe me, thou talkest of an admirable conceited fellow. Has he any unbraided wares? Servant. He hath ribbons of all the colors rainbow. Points, more than all the lawyers in Bohemia can learnedly handle, though they come to him by gross, inkles, caddises, cambrics, lawns. Why he sings 'em over as they were gods or goddesses. You would think a smock were a she-angel. He so chanced to the sleeve hand and the work about the square on T. Chapter 150, Own. Prithee bring him in, and let him approach singing. Perdita. Forewarn him that he use no scurrilous words in's tunes. Chapter 150, Own. You have of these peddlers that have more in them than you'd think, sister. Perdita. I, good brother, or go about to think. Enter Autolycus, singing. Autycus. Chapter 50, On as white as driven snow. Chapter 100, Ypres black as air was crow. Gloves as sweet as damask roses. Chapter 1000, Asks for faces and for noses. Bugle bracelet, necklace amber. Perfume for a lady's chamber. Golden coifs and stomachers. For my lads to give their dears. Pins and poking sticks of steel. What maids lack from head to heel. Chapter 100, buy of me come buy, come buy. Buy, lads, or else your lasses cry. Chapter 100, buy. Chapter 150, Own. Chapter 1, If I were not in love with Mopsa, thou shouldst take no money of me, but being enthralled as I am, it will also be the bondage of certain ribbons and gloves. Chapter 1000, OPSA. Chapter 1, Was promised them against the feast, but they come not too late now. Chapter 500, ORCAS. He hath promised you more than that, or there be liars. Chapter 1000, OPSA. He hath paid you all he promised you. Maybe he has paid you more, which will shame you to give him again. Chapter 150, Own. Chapter 1, There no manners left among maids? Will they wear their plackets where they should bear their faces? Is there not milking time, when you are going to bed or kiln hole to whistle of these secrets, but you must be tittle-tattling before all our guests? Tease well, they are whispering. Clamor your tongues and not a word more. Chapter 1000, OPSA. Chapter 1, Have done. Come, you promised me a tawdry lace and a pair of sweet gloves. Chapter 150, Own. Have I not told thee how I was cozened by the way, and lost all my money? Autycus. And indeed, sir, there are cozenas abroad, therefore it behoves men to be wary. Chapter 150, Own. Fear not thou, man, thou shalt lose nothing here. Autycus. Chapter 1, Hope so, sir, for I have about me many parcels of charge. Chapter 150, Own. What hast here, ballads? Chapter 1000, OPSA. Pray now, buy some. I love a ballad in print a life, for then we are sure they are true. Autycus. Here's one to a very doleful tune. How a usurer's wife was brought to bed of 20 money bags at a burden, and how she longed to eat adders' heads and toads carbonadoed. Chapter 1000, OPSA. Chapter 1, Is it true, think you? Autycus. Chapter 5, True and but a month old. Chapter 500, ORCAS. Bless me from marrying a usurer. Autycus. Here's the midwife's name taught, one mistress tailporter, and 5 or 6 honest wives that were present. Why should I carry lies abroad? Chapter 1000, OPSA. Pray you now buy it. Chapter 150, Own. Chapter 100, on, lay it by, and let's first see more ballads. We'll buy the other things anon. Autycus. Here's another ballad, of a fish that appeared upon the coast on Wednesday the 40 of April, 40,000 fathom above water, and sung this ballad against the hard hearts of maids. It was thought she was a woman, and was turned into a cold fish, for she would not exchange flesh with one that loved her. The ballad is very pitiful, and as true. Chapter 500, ORCAS. Chapter 1, Is it true too, thank you. AUTOICUS. 5 justices hands at it, and witnesses more than my pack will hold. Chapter 150, Own. Chapter 50, I it by 2, another. AUTOICUS. This is a merry ballad, but a very pretty one. Chapter 1000, OPSA. Chapter 50, Et s have some merry ones. AUTOICUS. Why, this is a passing merry one, and goes to the tune of 2 maids wooing a man. There's scarce a maid westward but she sings it. 'Tis in request, I can tell you. Chapter 1000, OPSA. We can both sing it. If thou'lt bear a part thou shalt hear. 'Tis in 3 parts. Chapter 500, ORCAS. We had the tune on T a month ago. AUTOICUS. Chapter 1. Can bear my part, you must know 'tis my occupation. Have at it with you. Song. AUTOICUS. Get you hence, for I must go where it fits not you to know. Chapter 500, ORCAS. Whither? Chapter 1000, OPSA. Oh, whither? Chapter 500, ORCAS. Whither? Chapter 1000, OPSA. Chapter 1, T becomes thy oath full well. Thou to me thy secrets tell. Chapter 500, ORCAS. Chapter 1000, E2, let me go thither. Chapter 1000, OPSA. Or thou goest to TH, grange or mill. Chapter 500, ORCAS. Chapter 1, F to either thou dost ill. AUTOICUS. Neither. Chapter 500, ORCAS. What neither? AUTOICUS. Neither. Chapter 500, ORCAS. Thou hast sworn my love to be. Chapter 1000, OPSA. Thou hast sworn it more to me. Then whither goest? Say whither. Chapter 150, Own. We'll have this song out anon by ourselves. My father and the gentlemen are in sad talk, and will not trouble them. Come, bring away thy pack after me. Wenches, I'll buy for you both. Peddler, let's have the first choice. Follow me, girls. Exit with Dorcas and Mopsa. AUTOICUS. And you shall pay well for 'em. Song. Will you buy any tape? Or lace for your cape? Chapter 1000, Why dainty duck, my dear A? Any silk, any thread? Any toys for your head? Of the newsty and finsty where? Chapter 100, Ohm to the peddler. Chapter 1000, When he's a meddler. That doth utter all men's weary. Enter servant. Servant. Chapter 1000. Aster, there is 3 carters, 3 shepherds, 3 neat herds, 3 swineherds that have made themselves all men of hair. They call themselves saltiers, and they have dance which the wenches say is a gallimaufry of gambles, because they are not in tea. But they themselves are the mind. If it be not too rough for some that know little but bowling, it will please plentifully. Shepherd. Away, will none on tea here has been too much homely foolery already. I know, sir, we weary you. Polexianes. You weary those that refresh us. Pray, let's see these 4 threes of herdsmen. Servant. 1-3 of them, by their own report, sir, hath danced before the king, and not the worst of the 3, but jumps 12 foot and a half by th square. Shepherd. Chapter 50. Eve your prating, since these good men are pleased, let them come in, but quickly now. Servant. Why, they stay at door, sir. Enter 12 rustics, habited like satyrs. They dance and then exeunt. Polexianes. Oh, father, you'll know more of that hereafter. Is it not too far gone? 'Tis time to part them. He's simple and tells much. How now, fair shepherd? Your heart is full of something that does take your mind from feasting, sooth when I was young, and handed love, as you do I was wont. To load my she with knacks, I would have ransacked the peddler's silken treasury, and have poured it. To her acceptance, you have let him go, and nothing marted with him, if your lass. Chapter 1. Interpretation should abuse and call this your lack of love or bounty, you were strated. For a reply, at least if you make a care of happy holding her. Florizel. Old sir, I know. She prizes not such trifles as these are. The gifts she looks from me are packed and locked up in my heart, which I have given already, but not delivered. Oh, hear me breathe my life before this ancient sir, who it should seem hath sometime loved. I take thy hand, this hand, as soft as dove's down, and as white as it, or Ethiopian's tooth, or the fan snow that's bolted by northern blasts twice o'er. Poetic. What follows this? How prettily the young swain seems to wash. The hand was fair before, I have put you out. But to your protestation, let me hear what you profess. Florizel. Chapter 500. Oh, and be witness to T. Poetic. And this my neighbor, too. Florizel. And he, and more than he, and men, the earth, the heavens, and all. That were I crowned the most imperial monarch, thereof most worthy, were I the fairest youth that ever made I swerve, had force and knowledge. Chapter 1000. Or than was ever man's, I would not prize them. Without her love, for her employ them all. Chapter 100. Amend them and condemn them to her service, or to their own perdition. Poetic. Fairly offered. Chapter 100. Amillo. This shows a sound affection. Shepherd. But my daughter. Say you the like to him. Perdita. Chapter 1. Cannot speak. So well, nothing so well, no nor mean better. By pattern of mine own thoughts I cut out. The purity of his. Shepherd. Take hands a bargain. And friends unknown, you shall bear witness taught. Chapter 1. Give my daughter to him and will make her portion equal his. Florizel. Oh, that must be. Chapter 1. Virtue of your daughter, one being dead. Chapter 1. Shall have more than you can dream of yet. Enough then for your wonder, but come on. Chapter 100. Ontract us for these witnesses. Shepherd. Chapter 100. Ohm your hand. And daughter yours. Poetic. Soft swain a while beseech you. Have you a father? Florizel. Chapter 1. Have, but what of him? Poetic. Knows he of this? Florizel. He neither does nor shall. Poetic. Chapter 1000. E thinks of father. Chapter 1. S at the nuptial of his son a guest. That best becomes the table, pray you once more. Chapter 1. S not your father grown incapable of reasonable affairs, is he not stupid? With age and altering rooms, can he speak? Here. No man from man, dispute his own estate. Chapter 51. Is he not bedrid, and again does nothing but what he did being childish? Florizel. No, good sir. He has his health, and ampler strength indeed than most have of his age. Poetic. By my white beard. You offer him, if this be so a wrong, something unfilial, reason my son should choose himself a wife, but as good reason. The father, all whose joy is nothing else but fair posterity, should hold some counsel. Chapter 1. And such a business. Florizel. Chapter 1. Yield all this. But for some other reasons, my grave, sir, which 'tis not fit you know, I not acquaint. Chapter 1000. Why father of this business? Poetic. Chapter 50. Edem no t. Epheloriziel. He shall not. Poetic. Prithee let him. Epheloriziel. No, he must not. Shepherd. Chapter 50. At him, my son, he shall not need to grieve. At knowing of thy choice. Epheloriziel. Chapter 100. Om come he must not. Chapter 1000. Arc our contract. Poetic. Discovering himself. Mark your divorce, young sir. Whom son I dare not call, thou art too base to be acknowledged, thou a scepter's heir. That thus affects a sheep hook, thou old traitor. Chapter 1. I'm sorry that by hanging thee I can but shorten thy life 1 week, and thou fresh peace. Of excellent witchcraft, whom of force must know. The royal fool thou copstee with. Shepherd. O my heart. Poetic. Chapter 1. I'll have thy beauty scratched with briars and made. Chapter 1000. Or homely than thy state, for thee, fond boy. Chapter 1. If I may ever know thou dost but sigh, that thou no more shalt see this knack, as never. Chapter 1. Mean thou shalt, will bar thee from succession. Not hold thee of our blood, no, not our kin. Far than Deucalion off, mark thou my words. Follow us to the court, thou churl for this time. Though full of our displeasure, yet we free thee from the dead blow of it, and you, enchantment. Worthy enough a herdsman, yea, him too. That makes himself, but for our honor therein. Unworthy thee, if ever henceforth thou these rural latches to his entrance open, or hoop his body more with thy embraces. Chapter 1. Will devise a death as cruel for thee as thou art tender to tea. Perdita. Even here undone. Chapter 1. Was not much afeared for once or twice. Chapter 1. Was about to speak and tell him plainly. The self-same sun that shines upon his court hides not his visage from our cottage, but. Chapter 50. Uxon alike, wilt please you, sir, be gone. Chapter 1. Told you what would come of this, beseech you. Of your own state take care, this dream of mine. Being now awake, I'll queen it no inch farther, but milk my ewes and weep. Chapter 100. Amillo. Why, how now, father? Speak ere thou deest. Shepherd. Chapter 1. Cannot speak nor think, nor dare to know that which I know, O sir. You have undone a man of 83. That thought to fill his grave in quiet, yea, to die upon the bed my father died, to lie close by his honest bones, but now some hangman must put on my shroud and lay me where no priest shovels in dust, O cursed wretch. That news to this was the prince, and wouldst adventure to mingle faith with him, undone, undone. Chapter 1. If I might die within this hour I have lived, to die when I desire. Epheloriziel. Why look you so upon me? Chapter 1. Am but sorry, not afeared, delayed. But nothing altered, what I was I am. Chapter 1000. Or straining on for plucking back, not following. Chapter 1000. Why leash unwillingly. Chapter 100. Amillo. Gracious my lord. You know your father's temper, at this time. He will allow no speech, which I do guess. You do not purpose to him, and as hardly will he endure your sight as yet, I fear. Then, till the fury of his highness settle. Chapter 100. Not before him. Epheloriziel. Chapter 1. Not purpose it. Chapter 1. Think Camillo. Chapter 100. Amillo. Even he, my lord. Perdita. How often have I told you 'twould be thus? How often said my dignity would last. But till 'twere known. Epheloriziel. Chapter 1. T cannot fail but by the violation of my faith, and then. Chapter 50. At nature crush the sides, O.th, earth together, and mar the seeds within, lift up thy looks. From my succession wipe me, Father, I am heir to my affection. Chapter 100. Amillo. Be advised. Epheloriziel. Chapter 1. And by my fancy, if my reason will thereto be obedient, I have reason. Chapter 1. If not my senses, better pleased with madness. Chapter 500. Oh, bid it welcome. Chapter 100. Amillo. This is desperate, sir. Epheloriziel. So call it, but it does fulfill my vow. Chapter 1. Needs must think it honesty, Camillo. Not for Bohemia, nor the pomp that may be thereat gleaned, for all the sun sees, or the close earth wombs, or the profound seas hides. Chapter 1. In unknown fathoms will I break my oath. To this my fair beloved, therefore I pray you, as you have ever been my father's honored friend, when he shall miss me, as in faith I mean not to see him any more, cast your good counsels upon his passion, let myself and fortune tug for the time to come, this you may know, and so deliver, I am put to sea, with her whom here I cannot hold on shore, and most opportune to her need, I have a vessel rides fast by, but not prepared for this design. What course I mean to hold shall nothing benefit your knowledge, nor. Chapter 100. Concern me the reporting. Chapter 100. Amillo. O my lord. Chapter 1. Would your spirit were easier for advice, or stronger for your need. Epheloriziel. Hark, Perdita, takes her aside. I'll hear you by and by. Chapter 100. Amillo. He's irremovable. Resolved for flight, now were I happy if his going I could frame to serve my turn. Save him from danger, do him love and honor. Purchase the sight again of dear Cecilia, and that unhappy king my master whom. Chapter 1. So much thirst to see. Epheloriziel. Now, good Camillo. Chapter 1. Am so fraught with curious business that. Chapter 1. Leave out ceremony. Chapter 100. Amillo. Sir, I think you have heard of my poor services, ith love, that I have borne your father. Epheloriziel. Chapter 5. Uri nobly. Have you deserved, it is my father's music, to speak your deeds, not little of his care, to have them recompensed is thought on. Chapter 100. Amillo. Well, my lord. Chapter 1. If you may please to think I love the king, and through him, what's nearest to him, which is your gracious self, embrace but my direction. Chapter 1. If your more ponderous and settled project. Chapter 1000. I suffer alteration, on mine honor. Chapter 1. I'll point you where you shall have such receiving, as shall become your highness, where you may enjoy your mistress, from the whom I see there's no disjunction to be made, but by as heavens forfend your ruin, marry her, and with my best endeavors in your absence, your discontenting father strive to qualify, and bring him up to liking. Epheloriziel. How, Camillo? Chapter 1000. I this almost a miracle be done, that I may call thee something more than man, and after that trust to thee. Chapter 100. Amillo. Have you thought on a place whereto you'll go? Epheloriziel. Not any yet, but as unthought on accident is guilty. To what we wildly do, so we profess ourselves to be the slaves of chance and flies of every wind that blows. Chapter 100. amillo. Then list to me. This follows, if you will not change your purpose. But undergo this flight, make for Sicilia, and there present yourself, and your fair princess. For so I see she must be, for Leontes. She shall be habited as it becomes. The partner of your bed, methinks I see. Chapter 50. Leontes opening his free arms and weeping. His welcomes forth, asks thee, the son, forgiveness. As twir-ith father's person, kisses the hands of your fresh princess, o'er and o'er divides him. Twixt his unkindness and his kindness, one. He chides to hell, and bids the other grow. Faster than thought or time. Epheloriziel. Worthy Camillo. What color for my visitation shall I hold up before him? Chapter 100. Amillo. Sent by the king your father, to greet him and to give him comforts, sir. The manner of your bearing towards him, with what you, as from your father, shall deliver. Things known betwixt us three, I'll write you down, the which shall point you forth at every sitting. What you must say, that he shall not perceive, but that you have your father's bosom there, and speak his very heart. Epheloriziel. Chapter 1. Am bound to you. There is some sap in this. Chapter 100. Amillo. A course more promising than a wild dedication of yourselves to unpathed waters, undreamed shores most certain. To miseries enough, no hope to help you. But as you shake off one to take another, nothing so certain as your anchors, who. Chapter 500. Owe their best office if they can but stay you where you'll be loath to be. Besides, you know, prosperity's the very bond of love, whose fresh complexion and whose heart together affliction alters. Perdita. One of these is true. Chapter 1. Think affliction may subdue the cheek, but not take in the mind. Chapter 100. Amillo. Yea, say you so. There shall not at your father's house, these 7 years, be born another such. Epheloriziel. Chapter 1000. Why good Camillo? She is as forward of her breeding as she is rear our birth. Chapter 100. Amillo. Chapter 1. Cannot say 'tis pity. She lacks instructions, for she seems a mistress to most that teach. Perdita. Your pardon, sir, for this. Chapter 1. I'll blush you thanks. Epheloriziel. Chapter 1000. Why prettiest Perdita? But oh, the thorns we stand upon, Camillo, preserver of my father, now of me. The medicine of our house, how shall we do? We are not furnished like Bohemia's son, nor shall appear in Sicilia. Chapter 100. Amillo. Chapter 1000. Why, Lord? Fear none of this, I think you know my fortunes. Chapter 500. Oh, I'll lie there, it shall be so my care to have you royally appointed, as if the scene you play were mine. For instance, sir, that you may know you shall not want one word. They talk aside. Enter Autolycus. Autylys. Ha ha, what a fool honesty is, and trust his sworn brother a very simple gentleman. I have sold all my trumpery, not a counterfeit stone, not a ribbon, glass, pomander, brooch, table book, ballad, knife, tape, glove, shoe tie, bracelet, horn ring to keep my pack from fasting. They throng who should buy first, as if my trinkets had been hallowed and brought a benediction to the buyer, by which means I saw whose purse was best in picture, and what I saw, to my good use I remembered. My clown, who wants but something to be a reasonable man, grew so in love with the wench's song that he would not stir his petitos till he had both tune and words, which so drew the rest of the herd to me that all their other senses stuck in ears. You might have pinched a placket, it was senseless. 'Twas nothing to geld a codpiece of a purse. I would have filed keys off that hung in chains. No hearing, no feeling, but my sir's song, and admiring the nothing of it. So that in this time of lethargy I picked and cut most of their festival purses, and had not the old man come in with a whoobub against his daughter and the king's son, and scared my chuffs from the chaff, I had not left a purse alive in the whole army. Chapter 100. Amillo, Florizel, and Perdita come forward. Chapter 100. Amillo. Nay, but my letters, by this means being there, so soon as you arrive, shall clear that doubt. Effeloriziel. And those that you'll procure from King Leontes. Chapter 100. Amillo. Shall satisfy your father. Perdita. Happy be you. All that you speak shows fair. Chapter 100. Amillo. Seeing Autolycus, who have we here? We'll make an instrument of this, omit. Nothing may give us aid. Autylys. If they have overheard me now, why hanging? Chapter 100. Amillo. How now, good fellow, why shakest thou so? Fear not, man, here's no harm intended to thee. Autylys. Chapter 1. Am a poor fellow, sir. Chapter 100. Amillo. Why be so still? Here's nobody will steal that from thee. Yet, for the outside of thy poverty we must make an exchange, therefore discase thee instantly. Thou must think there's a necessity in't, and change garments with this gentleman. Though the pennyworth on his side be the worst, yet hold thee, there's some boot. Autylys. Chapter 1. Am a poor fellow, sir, I know ye well enough. Chapter 100. Amillo. Nay, prithee dispatch, the gentleman is half flayed already. Autylys. Are you in earnest, sir? I smell the trick on't. Effeloriziel. Chapter 501. Spatch, I prithee. Autylys. Chapter 1. Indeed, I have had earnest, but I cannot with conscience take it. Chapter 100. Amillo. Unbuckle, unbuckle. Florizel and Autolycus exchange garments. Fortunate mistress, let my prophecy. Chapter 100. Home to you. You must retire yourself. Chapter 1. Into some covert, take your sweetheart's hat, and pluck it o'er your brows, muffle your face. Chapter 501. Smantle you, and as you can disliken the truth of your own seeming, that you may. For I do fear eyes over, to shipboard. Get undisgrayed. Perdita. Chapter 1. See the place so lies, that I must bear apart. Chapter 100. Amillo. No remedy. Have you done there? Effeloriziel. Should I now meet my father? He would not call me son. Chapter 100. Amillo. Nay, you shall have no hat, giving it to Perdita. Chapter 100. Lady come, farewell my friend. Autylys. Adieu, sir. Effeloriziel. O Perdita, what have we twain forgot? Pray you a word. They converse apart. Chapter 100. Amillo. What I do next shall be to tell the king of this escape, and whither they are bound. Wherein my hope is I shall so prevail to force him after, in whose company. Chapter 1. Shall review Cecilia, for whose sight. Chapter 1. Have a woman's longing. Effeloriziel. Fortune speed us. Thus we set on, Camillo to the seaside. Chapter 100. Amillo. The swifter speed the better. Exeunt Florizel, Perdita, and Camillo. Autylys. Chapter 1. Understand the business, I hear it. To have an open ear, a quick eye, and a nimble hand is necessary for a cut purse. A good nose is requisite also, to smell out work for the other senses. I see this is the time that the unjust man doth thrive. What an exchange had this been without boot! What a boot is here with this exchange! Sure the gods do this year connive at us, and we may do anything extempore. The prince himself is about a piece of iniquity, stealing away from his father with his clog at his heels. If I thought it were a piece of honesty to acquaint the king withal, I would not dot. I hold it the more knavery to conceal it, and therein am I constant to my profession. Enter clown and shepherd. Aside, aside, here is more matter for a hot brain. Every lane's end, every shop, church, session, hanging, yields a careful man-work. Chapter 150, Own. See, what a man you are now. There is no other way but to tell the king she's a changeling, and none of your flesh and blood. Shepherd. Nay, but hear me. Chapter 150, Own. Nay, but hear me. Shepherd. Go to, then. Chapter 150, Own. She being none of your flesh and blood has not offended the king, and so your flesh and blood is not to be punished by him. Show those things you found about her, those secret things, all but what she has with her. This being done, let the law go whistle, I warrant you. Shepherd. Chapter 1. Will tell the king all, every word, yea, and his son's pranks too, who, I may say, is no honest man neither to his father nor to me, to go about to make me the king's brother-in-law. Chapter 150, Own. Chapter 1. Indeed, brother-in-law was the farthest off you could have been to him, and then your blood had been the dearer by I know how much an ounce. Autylys. Very wisely, puppies. Shepherd. Well, let us to the king. There is that in this fardel will make him scratch his beard. Autylys. I know not what impediment this complaint may be to the flight of my master. Chapter 150, Own. Pray heartily he be at palace. Autylys. Though I am not naturally honest, I am so sometimes by chance. Let me pocket up my peddler's excrement, takes off his false beard. How now, rustics, whither are you bound? Shepherd. To the palace, and it like your worship. Autylys. Your affairs there, what with whom, the condition of that fardel, the place of your dwelling, your names, your ages, of what having, breeding, and anything that is fitting to be known. Discover. Chapter 150, Own. We are but plain fellows, sir. Autylys. A lie, you are rough and hairy. Let me have no lying. It becomes none but tradesmen, and they often give us soldiers the lie, but we pay them for it with stamped coin, not stabbing steel. Therefore they do not give us the lie. Chapter 150, Own. Your worship had like to have given us one, if you had not taken yourself with the manner. Shepherd. Are you a courtier, and tea like you, sir? Autylys. Whether it like me or no, I am a courtier. Seest thou not the air of the court in these enfoldings? Hath not my gait in it the measure of the court? Receives not thy nose court odor from me? Reflect I not on thy baseness court contempt? Think'st thou, for that I insinuate, or tose from thee thy business, I am therefore no courtier? I am courtier, Capipee, and one that will either push on or pluck back thy business there. Whereupon I command thee to open thy affair. Shepherd. Chapter 1000. Why business, sir, is to the king. Autylys. What advocate hast thou to him? Shepherd. Chapter 1. Know not and tea like you. Chapter 150, Own. Advocate's the court word for a pheasant. Say you have none. Shepherd. None, sir. I have no pheasant, cock, nor hen. Autylys. How blessed are we that are not simple men. Yet nature might have made me as these are. Therefore I will not disdain. Chapter 150, Own. This cannot be but a great courtier. Shepherd. His garments are rich, but he wears them not handsomely. Chapter 150, Own. He seems to be the more noble in being fantastical. A great man, I'll warrant. I know by the picking on's teeth. Autylys. The fardel there. What's ith fardel, where for that box? Shepherd. Sir, there lies such secrets in this fardel and box which none must know but the king, and which he shall know within this hour, if I may come to speech of him. Autylys. Age, thou hast lost thy labor. Shepherd. Why, sir? Autyous. The king is not at the palace. He is gone aboard a new ship to purge melancholy and air himself. For, if thou beest capable of things serious, thou must know the king is full of grief. Shepherd. So 'tis said, sir, about his son that should have married a shepherd's daughter. Autyous. Chapter 1. If that shepherd be not in hand fast, let him fly. The curses he shall have, the tortures he shall feel, will break the back of man, the heart of monster. Chapter 150. Own. Think you so, sir? Autyous. Not he alone shall suffer what wit can make heavy and vengeance bitter, but those that are germane to him, though removed 50 times, shall all come under the hangman, which, though it be great pity, yet it is necessary. An old sheep-whistling rogue, a ram tender, to offer to have his daughter come into grace. Some say he shall be stoned, but that death is too soft for him. Say I draw our throne into a sheepcote. All deaths are too few, the sharpest too easy. Chapter 150. Own. Has the old man e'er a son, sir? Do you hear? And tea like you, sir? Autyous. He has a son who shall be flayed alive, then nointed over with honey, set on the head of a wasp's nest, then stand till he be 3/4 and a dram dead, then recovered again with aquavit A or some other hot infusion. Then, raw as he is, and in the hottest day prognostication proclaims, shall he be set against a brick wall, the sun looking with a southward eye upon him, where he is to behold him with flies, blown to death. But what talk we of these traitorly rascals, whose miseries are to be smiled at, their offences being so capital? Tell me, for you seem to be honest plain men, what you have to the king. Being something gently considered, I'll bring you where he is aboard, tender your persons to his presence, whisper him in your behalfs, and if it be in man besides the king to effect your suits, here is man shall do it. Chapter 150. Own. He seems to be of great authority. Close with him, give him gold, and though authority be a stubborn bear, yet he is oft led by the nose with gold. Show the inside of your purse to the outside of his hand, and no more ado. Remember, stoned and flayed alive. Shepherd. And tea please you, sir, to undertake the business for us. Here is that gold I have. I'll make it as much more, and leave this young man in pawn till I bring it you. Autyous. After I have done what I promised. Shepherd. Aye, sir. Autyous. Well, give me the moiety. Are you a party in this business? Chapter 150. Own. Chapter 1. In some sort, sir, but though my case be a pitiful one, I hope I shall not be flayed out of it. Autyous. Oh, that's the case of the shepherd's son. Hang him, he'll be made an example. Chapter 150. Own. Chapter 100. Omfort, good comfort. We must to the king and show our strange sights. He must no tease none of your daughter nor my sister. We are gone else. Sir, I will give you as much as this old man does when the business is performed, and remain, as he says, your pawn till it be brought you. Autyous. Chapter 1. Will trust you. Walk before toward the seaside, go on the right hand. I will but look upon the hedge and follow you. Chapter 150. Own. We are blessed in this man, as I may say, even blessed. Shepherd. Chapter 50. Et es before as he bids us. He was provided to do us good. Exeunt shepherd and clown. Autyous. Chapter 1. If I had a mind to be honest, I see fortune would not suffer me. She drops booties in my mouth. I am courted now with a double occasion. Gold, and a means to do the prince my master good, which who knows how that may turn back to my advancement. I will bring these 2 moles, these blind ones, aboard him. If he think it fit to shore them again, and that the complaint they have to the king concerns him nothing, let him call me rogue for being so far officious. For I am proof against that title, and what shame else belongs to tea to him will I present them. There may be matter in it. Act 5. Scene 1. Cecilia, a room in the palace of Leontes. Enter Leontes, Cleomenes, Dion, Paulina, and others. Chapter 150. Hermione. Sir, you have done enough, and have performed. A saint-like sorrow, no fault could you make. which you have not redeemed, indeed paid down. Chapter 1000. Or penitence than done trespass, at the last. Chapter 500. Oh, as the heavens have done, forget your evil. With them, forgive yourself. Chapter 50. Eontes. Whilst I remember her and her virtues, I cannot forget. Chapter 1000. Why blemishes in them, and so still think of the wrong I did myself, which was so much. That airless it hath made my kingdom, and Chapter 500. Estroid the sweetsty companion that ere man bred his hopes out of. Palna. True, too true, my lord. Chapter 1. F. One by one you wedded all the world. Or from the all that are took something good. To make a perfect woman, she you killed would be unparalleled. Chapter 50. Eontes. Chapter 1. Think so, killed. She I killed, I did so, but thou strict'st me. Sorely to say I did, it is as bitter upon thy tongue as in my thought. Now good now. Say so but seldom. Chapter 150. Eomenes. Not at all, good lady. You might have spoken 1,000 things that would have done the time more benefit and gract your kindness better. Palna. You are one of those. Would have him wed again. Chapter 501. On. Chapter 1. If you would not so. You pity not the state, nor the remembrance of his most sovereign name, consider little what dangers by his highness fail of issue. Chapter 1000. I drop upon his kingdom and devour. Chapter 1. And certain lookers on, what were more holy then to rejoice the former queen as well. What holier than, for royalty's repair, for present comfort, and for future good, to bless the bed of majesty again, with a sweet fellow to tea. Palna. There is none worthy, respecting her that's gone, besides the gods will have fulfilled their secret purposes. For has not the divine Apollo said? Chapter 1. St not the tenor of his oracle, that King Leontes shall not have an heir, till his lost child be found, which that it shall. Chapter 1. All is monstrous to our human reason, as my Antigonus to break his grave, and come again to me, who on my life. Chapter 999. Perish with the infant, tease your counsel. Chapter 1000. Why Lord should to the heavens be contrary, oppose against their wills, care not for issue. The crown will find an heir, great Alexander. Chapter 50. Eft his to th worthiest, so his successor was like to be the best. Chapter 50. Eontes. Good Paulina, who hast the memory of Hermione. Chapter 1. Know in honor, oh, that ever I had squared me to thy counsel, then even now. Chapter 1. Might have looked upon my queen's full eyes, have taken treasure from her lips. Palna. And left them. Chapter 1000. Or rich for what they yielded. Chapter 50. Eontes. Thou speak'st truth. No more such wives, therefore no wife, one worse and better ust, would make her sainted spirit again possess her corpse, and on this stage where we offenders now appear, soul vexed, and begin, why to me? Palna. Had she such power? She had just cause. Chapter 50. Eontes. She had, and would incense me. To murder her I married. Palna. Chapter 1. Should so. Were I the ghost that walked, I'd bid you mark her eye, and tell me for what dull part in tea you chose her, then I'd shriek that even your ears should rift to hear me, and the words that followed should be, remember mine. Chapter 50. Eontes. Stars, stars, and all eyes else dead coals, fear thou no wife. Chapter 1. I'll have no wife, Paulina. PALNA. Will you swear? Never to marry, but by my free leave. Chapter 50, EONTES. Never, Paulina, so be blessed my spirit. PALNA. Then, good my lords, bear witness to his oath. Chapter 150, EOMENES. You tempt him overmuch. PALNA. Unless another. As like Hermione as is her picture. Affront his eye. Chapter 150, EOMENES. Good madam. PALNA. Chapter 1, have done. Yet if my lord will marry, if you will, sir. No remedy but you will, give me the office. To choose you a queen, she shall not be so young. As was your former, but she shall be such. As walked your first queen's ghost, it should take joy. To see her in your arms. Chapter 50, EONTES. Chapter 1000, Why true Paulina. We shall not marry till thou bidst us. PALNA. That shall be when your first queen's again in breath. Never till then. Enter a servant. Servant. One that gives out himself Prince Florizel. Son of Polixenes with his princess, she, the fairest I have yet beheld, desires access to your high presence. Chapter 50, EONTES. What with him, he comes not. Chapter 51, Key to his father's greatness, his approach. So out of circumstance and sudden, tells us. 'Tis not a visitation frammed, but forked. By need and accident, what train? Servant. But few. And those but mean. Chapter 50, EONTES. His princess, say you with him. Servant. I, the most peerless piece of earth, I think. That ere the sun shone bright on. PALNA. O Hermione. As every present time doth boast itself. Above a better gone, so must thy grave. Give way to what's seen now, sir, you yourself. Have said and writ so, but you're writing now. Chapter 1, as colder than that theme, she had not been. Nor was not to be equaled, thus your verse. Flowed with her beauty once, tease shrewdly ebbed. To say you have seen a better. Servant. Pardon, madam. The one I have almost forgot, your pardon. The other, when she has obtained your eye. Will have your tongue too, this is a creature. Would she begin a sect, might quench the zeal of all professors else, make proselytes of who she but bid follow. PALNA. How not women? Servant. Women will love her that she is a woman. Chapter 1000, or worth than any man, men that she is. The rarest of all women. Chapter 50, EONTES. Go, Cleomenes. Yourself, assisted with your honored friends. Bring them to our embracement. Exeunt Cleomenes and others. Still, 'tis strange. He thus should steal upon us. PALNA. Had our prince, jewel of children, seen this hour he had paired. Well with this lord, there was not full a month between their births. Chapter 50, EONTES. Prithee no more, cease, thou know'st. He dies to me again when talked of, sure. When I shall see this gentleman, thy speeches will bring me to consider that which may unfurnish me of reason, they are come. Enter Florizel, Perdita, Cleomenes, and others. Your mother was most true to wedlock, prince, for she did print your royal father off. Chapter 100, Enceiving you, were I but 21. Your father's image is so hidden you, his very heir, that I should call you brother. As I did him, and speak of something wildly by us performed before, most dearly welcome. And your fair princess, goddess, oh alas. Chapter 1, Lost a couple that twixt heaven and earth. Chapter 1001, GHT thus have stood, begetting wonder, as you gracious couple do, and then I lost. All mine own folly, the society. Amity too, of your brave father whom, though bearing misery, I desire my life. Once more to look on him. Ephiloriziel. By his command. Have I here touched Cecilia, and from him give you all greetings that a king at friend. Chapter 100. And send his brother, and but infirmity, which waits upon worn times, hath something seized. His wished ability he had himself. The lands and waters, twixt your throne and his. Chapter 1000. Easured to look upon you, whom he loves. He bade me say so, more than all the scepters, and those that bear them living. Chapter 50. Leontes. O my brother, good gentleman, the wrongs I have done thee stir afresh within me, and these thy offices, so rarely kind, are as interpreters of my behindhand slackness. Welcome hither, as is the spring to the earth, and hath he too exposed this paragon to the fearful usage, at least ungentle, of the dreadful Neptune, to greet a man not worth her pains, much less adventure of her person. Ephiloriziel. Good, my lord. She came from Libya. Chapter 50. Leontes. Where the warlike Smalus, that noble honored lord, is feared and loved. Ephiloriziel. Chapter 1000. Ost royal sir from thence, from him whose daughter his tears proclaimed his parting with her, thence a prosperous south wind friendly, we have crossed, to execute the charge my father gave me, for visiting your highness, my best train. Chapter 1. Have from your Sicilian shores dismissed, who for Bohemia bend, to signify not only my success in Libya, sir, but my arrival and my wife's in safety here where we are. Chapter 50. Leontes. The blessed gods purge all infection from our air whilst you. Chapter 500. O climate here, you have a holy father, a graceful gentleman, against whose person, so sacred as it is, I have done sin, for which the heavens, taking angry note, have left me issueless, and your father's blessed, as he from heaven merits it, with you. Worthy his goodness, what might I have been? Chapter 1001. GHT I a son and daughter now have looked on. Such goodly things as you. Enter a lord. Chapter 50. ORD. Chapter 1000. Us noble sir. That which I shall report will bear no credit. Were not the proof so nigh, please you great sir. Bohemia greets you from himself by me. Chapter 500. Esgers you to attach his son who has his dignity and duty both cast off, fled from his father, from his hopes, and with a shepherd's daughter. Chapter 50. Leontes. Where's Bohemia? Speak. Chapter 50. ORD. Here in your city, I now came from him. Chapter 1. Speak amazedly, and it becomes. Chapter 1000. Why marvel in my message, to your court? Whiles he was hastening, in the chase it seems, of this fair couple, meets he on the way the father of this seeming lady and her brother, having both their country quitted, with this young prince. Ephiloriziel. Chapter 100. Amilo has betrayed me, whose honor and whose honesty till now endured all weathers. Chapter 50. ORD. Chapter 50. It so to his charge. He's with the king your father. Chapter 50. Leontes. Who, Camillo. Chapter 50. ORD. Chapter 100. Amilo, sir, I spake with him who now has these poor men in question, never saw I. Wretches so quake, they kneel, they kiss the earth, forswear themselves as often as they speak. Bohemia stops his ears and threatens them with divers deaths in death. Perdita. Oh, my poor father. The heaven set spies upon us, will not have our contract celebrated. Chapter 50, Eontes. You are married. Epheloriziel. We are not, sir, nor are we like to be. The stars, I see, will kiss the valleys first. The odds for high and lows alike. Chapter 50, Eontes. Chapter 1000, Why Lord? Chapter 1, Is this the daughter of a king? Epheloriziel. She is. When once she is my wife. Chapter 50, Eontes. That once, I see by your good father's speed, will come on very slowly. I am sorry. Chapter 1000. Sorry you have broken from his liking, where you were tied in duty, and as sorry. Your choice is not so rich in worth as beauty, that you might well enjoy her. Epheloriziel. Chapter 500. Ears look up. Though fortune, visible an enemy, should chase us with my father, power no jot hath she to change our loves, beseech you, sir. Remember, since you owed no more to time than I do now, with thought of such affections, step forth mine advocate, at your request. Chapter 1000. Why father will grant precious things as trifles. Chapter 50. Eontes. Would he do so, I'd beg your precious mistress, which he counts but a trifle. Pawlna. Sir, my liege, your eye hath too much youth and tea, not a month. For your queen died, she was more worth such gazes than what you look on now. Chapter 50. Eontes. Chapter 1. Thought of her. Even in these looks I made, but your petition. Chapter 1. As yet unanswered, I will to your father. Your honor not o'erthrown by your desires. Chapter 1. Am friend to them and you, upon which errand. Chapter 1. Now go toward him, therefore follow me. And mark what way I make. Come, good my lord. Scene 2. The same before the palace. Enter Autolycus and a gentleman. Autylys. Beseech you, sir, were you present at this relation? First Gentleman. Chapter 1. Was by at the opening of the fardel, heard the old shepherd deliver the manner how he found it. Whereupon, after a little amazedness, we were all commanded out of the chamber. Only this, methought I heard the shepherd say he found the child. Autylys. Chapter 1. Would most gladly know the issue of it. First Gentleman. Chapter 1. Make a broken delivery of the business, but the changes I perceived in the king and Camillo were very notes of admiration. They seemed almost, with staring on one another, to tear the cases of their eyes. There was speech in their dumbness, language in their very gesture. They looked as they had heard of a world ransomed or one destroyed. A notable passion of wonder appeared in them, but the wisest beholder, that knew no more but seeing, could not say if importance were joy or sorrow, but in the extremity of the one it must needs be. Here comes a gentleman that happily knows more. Enter a gentleman. The news, Rogero. Second Gentleman. Nothing but bonfires, the oracle is fulfilled. The king's daughter is found. Such a deal of wonder is broken out within this hour that ballad makers cannot be able to express it. Here comes the Lady Paulina, steward. He can deliver you more. Enter a third gentleman. How goes it now, sir? This news, which is called true, is so like an old tale that the verity of it is in strong suspicion. Has the king found his heir? Third Gentleman. Chapter 1000. True, if ever truth were pregnant by circumstance. That which you hear you'll swear you see, there is such unity in the proofs. The mantle of Queen Hermione's, her jewel about the neck of it, the letters of Antigonus found with it, which they know to be his character. The majesty of the creature in resemblance of the mother, the affection of nobleness which nature shows above her breeding, and many other evidences proclaim her with all certainty to be the king's daughter. Did you see the meeting of the two kings? Second Gentleman. No. Third Gentleman. then you have lost a sight which was to be seen, cannot be spoken of. There might you have beheld one joy crown another, so and in such manner that it seemed sorrow wept to take leave of them, for their joy waded in tears. There was casting up of eyes, holding up of hands, with countenance of such distraction that they were to be known by garment, not by favor. Our king, being ready to leap out of himself for joy of his found daughter, as if that joy were now become a loss, cries, "Oh, thy mother, thy mother." Then asks Bohemia forgiveness, then embraces his son-in-law, then again worries he his daughter with clipping her. Now he thanks the old shepherd, which stands by like a weather-bitten conduit of many kings' reigns. I never heard of such another encounter, which lames report to follow it, and undoes description to do it. Second gentleman. What, pray you, became of Antigonus, that carried hence the child? Third gentleman. Chapter 51. Key an old tale still, which will have matter to rehearse, though credit be asleep and not an ear open. He was torn to pieces with a bear. This avouches the shepherd's son, who has not only his innocence, which seems much to justify him, but a handkerchief and rings of his that Paulina knows. First gentleman. What became of his bark and his followers? Third gentleman. Wrecked the same instant of their master's death, and in the view of the shepherd, so that all the instruments which aided to expose the child were even then lost when it was found. But oh, the noble combat that twixt joy and sorrow was fought in Paulina. She had one eye declined for the loss of her husband, another elevated that the oracle was fulfilled. She lifted the princess from the earth, and so locks her in embracing, as if she would pin her to her heart, that she might no more be in danger of losing. First gentleman. The dignity of this act was worth the audience of kings and princes, for by such was it acted. Third gentleman. One of the prettiest touches of all, and that which angled for mine eyes, caught the water, though not the fish, was, when at the relation of the queen's death, with the manner how she came to it bravely confessed and lamented by the king, how attentiveness wounded his daughter, till from one sign of dolor to another, she did, with an alas, I would fain say, bleed tears, for I am sure my heart wept blood. Who was most marble their changed color, some swooned, all sorrowed. If all the world could have seen it, the woe had been universal. First gentleman. Are they returned to the court? Third gentleman. No, the princess hearing of her mother's statue, which is in the keeping of Paulina, a piece many years in doing and now newly performed by that rare Italian master, Giulio Romano, who, had he himself eternity and could put breath into his work, would beguile nature of her custom, so perfectly he is her ape. He so near to Hermione hath done Hermione that they say one would speak to her and stand in hope of answer. Thither with all greediness of affection are they gone, and there they intend to sup. Second gentleman. Chapter 1. Thought she had some great matter there in hand, for she hath privately twice or thrice a day, ever since the death of Hermione, visited that removed house. Shall we thither, and with our company piece the rejoicing? First gentleman. Who would be thence that has the benefit of access? Every wink of an eye some new grace will be born. Our absence makes us unthrifty to our knowledge. Let's along. Exeunt gentlemen. Autylys. Now, had I not the dash of my former life in me, would preferment drop on my head. I brought the old man and his son aboard the prince, told him I heard them talk of a fardel, and I know not what, but he at that time overfond of the shepherd's daughter, so he then took her to be, who began to be much seasick, and himself little better extremity of weather continuing, this mystery remained undiscovered. But 'tis all one to me, for had I been the finder out of this secret, it would not have relished among my other discredits. Enter shepherd and clown. Here come those I have done good to against my will, and already appearing in the blossoms of their fortune. Shepherd. Chapter 100. Boy, I am past more children, but thy sons and daughters will be all gentlemen born. Chapter 150. Own. You are well met, sir. You denied to fight with me this other day, because I was no gentleman born. See you these clothes? Say you see them not, and think me still no gentleman born. You were best say these robes are not gentleman born. Give me the lie, do, and try whether I am not now a gentleman born. Autylys. Chapter 1. Know you are now, sir, a gentleman born. Chapter 150. Own. I, and have been so any time these 4 hours. Shepherd. And so have I, boy. Chapter 150. Own. So you have, but I was a gentleman born before my father, for the king's son took me by the hand and called me brother, and then the 2 kings called my father brother, and then the prince, my brother, and the princess, my sister, called my father father, and so we wept, and there was the first gentleman-like tears that ever we shed. Shepherd. We may live, son, to shed many more. Chapter 150. Own. I, or else, tweer hard luck, being in so preposterous a state as we are. Autycus. Chapter 1. Humbly beseech you, sir, to pardon me all the faults I have committed to your worship, and to give me your good report to the prince my master. Shepherd. Prithee, son, do, for we must be gentle now we are gentlemen. Chapter 150. Own. Thou wilt amend thy life. Autycus. I, and it like your good worship. Chapter 150. Own. Give me thy hand. I will swear to the prince thou art as honest a true fellow as any is in Bohemia. Shepherd. You may say it, but not swear it. Chapter 150. Own. Not swear it, now I am a gentleman. Let boors and franklins say it, I'll swear it. Shepherd. How if it be false, son? Chapter 150. Own. Chapter 1. If it be ne'er so false, a true gentleman may swear it in the behalf of his friend. And I'll swear to the prince thou art a tall fellow of thy hands, and that thou wilt not be drunk. But I know thou art no tall fellow of thy hands, and that thou wilt be drunk. But I'll swear it, and I would thou wouldst be a tall fellow of thy hands. Autycus. Chapter 1. Will prove so, sir, to my power. Chapter 150. Own. I by any means prove a tall fellow, if I do not wonder how thou darst venture to be drunk, not being a tall fellow, trust me not. Hark, the kings and the princes, our kindred, are going to see the queen's picture. Come, follow us, we'll be thy good masters. Scene 3. The same, a room in Paulina's house. Enter Leontes, Polixenes, Florizel, Perdita, Camillo, Paulina, lords and attendants. Chapter 50. Leontes. O grave and good Paulina, the great comfort that I have had of thee. Paulina. What sovereign, sir? Chapter 1. Did not well I meant well, all my services you have paid home, but that you have vouchsafed with your crowned brother, and these your contracted heirs of your kingdoms, my poor house to visit. Chapter 1. Tea is a surplus of your grace which never. Chapter 1000. Why life may last to answer. Chapter 50. Leontes. O Paulina. We honor you with trouble, but we came to see the statue of our queen, your gallery. Have we passed through, not without much content. Chapter 1. And many singularities, but we saw not that which my daughter came to look upon. The statue of her mother. Paulina. As she lived peerless, so her dead likeness, I do well believe, excels whatever yet you looked upon, or hand of man hath done, therefore I keep it. Chapter 50. Onely apart, but here it is, prepare to see the life as lively mocked as ever. Still sleep mocked death, behold and say 'tis well. Paulina undraws a curtain, and discovers Hermione standing as a statue. Chapter 1. Like your silence, it the more shows off your wonder, but yet speak. First you, my liege. Chapter 100. Ohms it not something near. Chapter 50. Leontes. Her natural posture. Chapter 100. Hide me, dear stone, that I may say indeed, thou art Hermione, or rather thou art she. Chapter 1. End thy not chiding, for she was as tender as infancy and grace, but yet Paulina. Hermione was not so much wrinkled, nothing so aged as this seems. Polixenes. Oh, not by much. P.A.W.L.N.A. So much the more our carver's excellence, which lets go by some 16 years and makes her, as she lived now. Chapter 50, Eontes. As now she might have done. So much to my good comfort as it is. Now piercing to my soul, oh thus she stood. Even with such life of majesty, warm life. As now it coldly stands, when first I wooed her. Chapter 1, am ashamed, does not the stone rebuke me? For being more stone than it, O royal peace. There's magic in thy majesty, which has. Chapter 1000, why evils conjured to remembrance and. From thy admiring daughter took the spirits. Standing like stone with thee. Perdita. And give me leave. And do not say, 'tis superstition that. Chapter 1, kneel and then implore her blessing, lady. Chapter 500, ear queen, that ended when I but began. Give me that hand of yours to kiss. P.A.W.L.N.A. Oh, patience. The statue is but newly fixed, the color S. Not dry. Chapter 100, AMILLO. Chapter 1000, why, Lord, your sorrow was too sore laid on, which 16 winters cannot blow away. So many summers dry, scarce any joy. Chapter 999, ever so long live, no sorrow, but killed itself much sooner. Poetic. Chapter 500, ear my brother. Chapter 50, at him that was the cause of this have power to take off so much grief from you as he will peace up in himself. P.A.W.L.N.A. Chapter 1, indeed, my lord. Chapter 1, if I had thought the sight of my poor image would thus have wrought you, for the stone is mine. Chapter 1, do not have showed it. Chapter 50, Eontes. Chapter 500, oh not draw the curtain. P.A.W.L.N.A. No longer shall you gaze on't, lest your fancy. Chapter 1000, I think anon it moves. Chapter 50, Eontes. Chapter 50, at be let be. Would I were dead, but that methinks already. What was he that did make it? See, my lord. Would you not deem it breathed, and that those veins? Chapter 999, verily bear blood. Poetic. Chapter 1000, astrally done. The very life seems warm upon her lip. Chapter 50, Eontes. The fixture of her eye has motion in T. As we are mocked with art. P.A.W.L.N.A. Chapter 1, I'll draw the curtain. Chapter 1000, why lords almost so far transported that he'll think anon it lives. Chapter 50, Eontes. Oh, sweet Paulina. Chapter 1000, ache me to think so 20 years together. No settled senses of the world can match the pleasure of that madness, let T alone. P.A.W.L.N.A. Chapter 1, am sorry, sir, I have thus far stirred you, but. Chapter 1, could afflict you further. Chapter 50, Eontes. Chapter 500, oh, Paulina. For this affliction has a taste as sweet as any cordial comfort, still methinks. There is an air comes from her, what fine chisel. Chapter 100, would ever yet cut breath, let no man mock me. For I will kiss her. P.A.W.L.N.A. Good my lord, forbear. The ruddiness upon her lip is wet. You'll mar it if you kiss it, stain your own. With oily painting, shall I draw the curtain? Chapter 50, Eontes. No, not these 20 years. Perdita. So long could I stand by, a looker on. P.A.W.L.N.A. Either forbear. Quit presently the chapel, or resolve you for more amazement, if you can behold it. Chapter 1, I'll make the statue move indeed descend, and take you by the hand, but then you'll think, which I protest against, I am assisted by wicked powers. Chapter 50, Eontes. What you can make her do. Chapter 1, am content to look on, what to speak. Chapter 1, am content to hear, for 'tis as easy to make her speak as move. Palna. Chapter 1, T is required. You do awake your faith, then all stand still, or those that think it is unlawful business. Chapter 1, am about let them depart. Chapter 50, Eontes. Proceed. No foot shall stir. Palna. Chapter 1000, Music awake her, strike. 'Tis time, descend, bestow no more approach. Strike all that look upon with marvel, come. Chapter 1, I'll fill your grave up, stir, nay, come away. Bequeath to death your numbness, for from him. Chapter 500, ere life redeems you, you perceive she stirs. Hermione comes down from the pedestal. Start not, her actions shall be holy as. You hear my spell is lawful, do not shun her. Until you see her die again, for then you kill her double, nay, present your hand. When she was young you wooed her, now in a. Chapter 1, as she become the suitor. Chapter 50, Eontes. Oh, she's warm. Chapter 1, if this be magic, let it be an art. Chapter 50, awful as eating. Poetic. She embraces him. Chapter 100, Amillo. She hangs about his neck. Chapter 1, if she pertain to life, let her speak too. Poetic. Aye, and make it manifest where she has lived, or how stolen from the dead. Palna. That she is living, were it but told you, should be hooted at. Chapter 51, Key an old tale, but it appears she lives. Though yet she speak not, mark a little while. Please you to interpose, fair madam, kneel, and pray your mother's blessing, turn, good lady. Our Perdita is found. Presenting Perdita, who kneels to Hermione. Hermione. You gods look down, and from your sacred vials pour your graces. Upon my daughter's head, tell me mine own. Where hast thou been preserved, where lived, how found? Thy father's court, for thou shalt hear that I, knowing by Paulina that the oracle gave hope thou wast in being, have preserved. Chapter 1000, a self to see the issue. Palna. There's time enough for that. Chapter 50, they desire upon this push to trouble. Your joys with like relation, go together. You precious winners all, your exultation. Partake to everyone, I an old turtle. Will wing me to some withered bough, and there. Chapter 1000, why mate that's never to be found again. Chapter 50, aim till I am lost. Chapter 50, Eontes. O peace, Paulina. Thou shouldst a husband take by my consent. As I buy thine a wife, this is a match. And made between spy vows, thou hast found mine. But how is to be questioned, for I saw her, as I thought dead, and have in vain said many. A prayer upon her grave, I'll not seek far. For him I partly know his mind, to find thee. An honorable husband, come Camillo, and take her by the hand, whose worth and honesty. Chapter 1, richly noted and here justified. Buy us a pair of kings, let's from this place. What, look upon my brother, both your pardons. That air I put between your holy looks. Chapter 1000, why ill suspicion, this your son-in-law, and son unto the king, whom heaven's directing. Chapter 1, troth plight to your daughter, good Paulina. Chapter 50, eat us from hence, where we may leisurely. Each one demand, an answer to his part. Performed in this wide gap of time, since first we were dissevered, hastily lead away.